Oh boy, here we go again. Why hello there everyone, P156 here, Gaming 156 here. Good gosh, what an introduction that was. And welcome back to another playthrough of Sonic Superstars, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, our good old host Trip has joined the party as well. Previously, where we left off, oh, she's a bit shy. Personality traits, very respectful indeed. Previously, we 100% completed Sonic's campaign, or at least the main story mode of Sonic Superstars. We got all the Chaos Emeralds, and we got the good ending for that matter. And in doing so, we unlocked yours truly, Trip's story, ladies and gentlemen, which is basically, quote-unquote, the hard mode of this adventure, or basically the Knuckles campaign of this, where Sonic's being Knuckles. But with introductions out of the way, we'll get to explanations in a bit. Let's dive right in. Oh boy, what abomination lies within. And there she is. How lovely. And she's Trip. That's her name, alright. Trip. Clever describes her clumsiness, part of which is because she wears heavy armor. Well, at least she used to, but it mostly comes from the helmet. Surprised you could even see for that, but special design. Anyways, Bridge Island Zone Act 1. Just like last time, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go again. And right off the bat, I am immediately going to treat this as if this were an any percent speedrun, since you don't actually have to go for the emerald if you're playing as Trip. That's already done for you. What did I tell you? Just like that. All the emerald abilities are unlocked, assuming, I believe, if you got them all previously, or actually that might be a lie. Anyhow, we're back, and boy, you could already tell that the level layout is much more different than to that of Sonic, since Trip has her own unique abilities. She plays a bit like Enemy, and a bit like Knuckles too, in which she can climb stuff, since she's a lizard, a sun gazer lizard to be exact, and she has a double jump, just like that, and she can even shield herself, just like Amy. I guess you could say they basically just combined Amy and Knuckles just to make one new character, an original one too for that matter, and that is very respectable. We're already off to a great start. Gotten hit twice, excellent. Breeze through this, and for those of you wondering, this, as previously mentioned, it's somewhat, I guess you could say, kind of like an aftermath to the previous adventure. Not really. Most aspects from it, I could say the setting of the story takes place during the events of the main story mode, in which I'd say shortly after Trip defects from helping Knack the Weasel and Robotnik too. Since for those of you who don't know the story of Sonic Superstars, it goes like this. On one occasion, basically, Dr. Robotnik and Knack the Weasel, or Fang the Sniper as the game refers to him, basically stumbled upon North Star Islands, and in doing so, Robotnik decided to hire Knack, or Fang in other words, to basically explore the island, to basically capture every flicky within, including the exclusive jumbo-sized flickies, as you can see right there, to basically use them to power up an invincible army of Batniks to basically take over the world. Does this ever get old? Another story regarding world domination, only this time it gets a lot more serious with animals. Nature versus technology, am I right? Anyways, pretty straightforward archetypes and stuff like that. But basically, in capturing most of the animals, Knack at some point encountered Trip and basically hired her, and by that I mean forced her to help Knack and Robotnik basically capture all the flickies and protect them from dangers of the North Star Islands, to basically take it over moments before Sonic and his gang arrive. Pretty cute. Anyways, while it may seem like she was a villain, well, she was a villain, well, that's actually not really true, since at one point he does end up defecting from Knack and Robotnik after basically being treated like dirt by Knack the Weasel, or Fang the Sniper. Speaking of which, just gonna go talk about Knack for a moment, or Fang, or whatever you want to call him. I still can't get over the fact that they call him Knack now, it's weird. Though interestingly enough, I actually discovered that he actually utilizes fake names, which I guess could explain as to why he uses different names throughout the series and why he started out as Knack and then just turned to Fang. It's pretty funny. First he was Knack the Weasel, then Jet the Gerbil, I think, and then he changed it to Fang the Sniper, and then Fang the Hunter. I'll say, well, Fang the Hunter is a somewhat clever and fitting name since he hunts flickies, of course, and captures them. I still prefer Knack. It's I'd say it better describes his personality. It sounds a lot more. It reminds every time I say it, it just reminds you of nuisance and of the word nuisance. And I could actually say that's somewhat fitting for Nax, since he is a pretty good antagonist in a way. Anyways, we're doing an amazing job at not getting hit here. Good start, good start. And the best part is, this is only the first world. Good start, ladies and gentlemen, good start indeed. A round of applause. Anyways, loops. Nice. Oh boy. And you know what that means? Already this early on, it's time for a boss fight. And I did not mean to do that. Whoops. And anyways, this basically plays like just like the original boss we fought earlier. Same thing, same gimmicks. The only difference being is he has a much quicker pattern, and he tries to make it a bit more challenging at that too. Only this time you don't have actually, never mind, we do have emeralds. I'm just not using them. Whoops. Avatar, I need you. Fair gameplay. We're definitely doing this the intended way, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely doing so indeed. Just like that. Anyways, patient game, my favorite game of all time. And just like that, that's phase 1. On to phase 2 now. I still can't believe I skipped the cutscene and trying to just make this look as quickly as possible. But before you say you're fighting Robotnik, that's not entirely true. This is not Robotnik, spoiler alert. Finding someone else. I won't tell you who, it's a surprise. But you're about to find out in just a good second, don't worry. Nice. Done and done! We came in with 38 rings and now we only have 1. Good start. And hey, wouldn't you know, Egg Robo is back, as if this couldn't get any more similar to the Knuckles campaign from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Aftermath, am I right? Anyways, didn't get the bonus. Now that's what I call a good start, ladies and gentlemen. Very good indeed. At least I got lore out of the way, so we're good. No one saw that. Speed Jungle Zone, oh boy. Back to this level. One level that reminds me of Star Speedway. And hey, we missed a blue ring, but it's fine. I'm not too worried about getting those, since those are just for getting bonuses. Basically, the blue rings are basically just take you back to the Emerald minigames. Only this time you're not going for the Emeralds, obviously, since you already have them. Instead, you basically get taken to the Emerald minigame, but instead to win tokens. Now, for those of you who may be asking how is that helpful, it's because the tokens are currency, and that was good timing since I got myself killed as I was saying that. Commentary, am I right? Well, sure is a good thing we're still very early in the game. Timing, anyways. Back to speeding our way. Only, however, this time, since we aren't going for the emeralds, this should be a lot quicker, hopefully. Anyways, let's not mess this up, shall we? Nice. Barely escaped inevitable death there. Not really, there was a vine, but for a sec I thought there wasn't. And this time I did die inconveniently. Thanks, commentary. Thank you. I needed that. And here we go again. Oh, okay, make the same mistake. Okay, we're in a loop now, apparently. One moment, please. Blooper reel, don't worry about it. Oh boy, here we go again. Nice. You still, just in case you still didn't believe me when I said this was the quote-unquote hard mode of the main story mode. Anyways, springs, and I went the wrong way. Never mind, I did actually go the right way. All 3 of them were the right way. What am I saying? Nice. Double jump's really gonna come and help. And I forgot what I was gonna say. Beautiful. Every time. The one word. Come in handy, thank you. I fixed my commentary, don't worry, this is perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about. All planned. Fear not. I also want to quickly apologize for my lack of uploads. I am well aware that speaking of platformers, Mario Wonder has officially come out. It actually came out yesterday, the 20th, it's 21st today. And yes, before you start asking whether or not am I gonna live stream or not, yes, I will live stream the game. Don't you worry, I got you covered. But first, we're gonna have to finish Superstars for the sake of game physics. And the mechanics between Sonic and Mario, some could say are similar, but they're actually pretty different. And I am not even paying attention because commentary again. First suffocation and now commentary is the one thing that always gets me killed in Sonic. Excellent. Thank you. You made it this time, we're good. Don't worry. Anyways. Nice. Well, I can't guarantee anything. Depending on how long it takes me to complete this game, we're about nearly... Actually, not it's live. I'd say we're almost more than 10 minutes in this adventure. So depending on how long this takes me, I may or may not pay close attention, may or may not upload the first world in Mario Wonder, so do stay tuned for that, since I obviously will 100% that game. It's just a theme with the channel now. 100% completion, and just like that, this boss makes a return, as it yet again is harnessing the power that is the jumbo-sized flickies to basically create awful machinery. Just like humanity indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Some don't even realize how accurate video games can actually be at storytelling. Anyways, with lore out of the way, patience. Yes, this is what you subscribe for. Excellent. Go. And that's why you should use Avatar, ladies and gentlemen. Work smarter, not harder. What did I tell you? That's 2 hits in a row, combo. Make that 3 hits. And already it's in the final phase. Well, we might as well. Okay, sure, thank you. That also works, I guess. Speaking of Emerald Power... Now's also a good time to talk about the Emerald Powers, too. You can actually use them whenever you want. They don't cost you any rings. However, the super forms do cost you rings. You need 50 of them. And be aware not to get hit while using the Emerald Power, since if you do get hit, then that's bye-bye Emerald Power. Just a heads up, that way when you're using Fireball and Mater and you accidentally get sniped out of nowhere by a battling behind you and you end up falling into an endless abyss, that way you don't blame the game. Trust me. Combo. Nice. Love doing that, satisfying. And that is another jumbo-sized Licky free, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Nice. Act 1. Next act. I'm gonna miss the cutscenes. To be fair, this game does have cutscenes, but not after every act, unlike Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Mania, of course. Turbo Trouble 16-bit actually did a really good job handling cutscenes, and hey, it's our good old buddy old pal, Knack the Weasel, or Fang the Hunter, how this game calls him. Going back to Knack for a sec, I was about to say earlier, one reason that's, I guess you could say, as to why he's been constantly getting different names is because, obviously, he's wanted. He's a bounty hunter for that matter, and as you all know, on the run you gotta change your name and hide your true identity, so I guess that somewhat explains how he went from Fang the Sniper to just Fang the Hunter in not a very long time. Anyways, with more lore out of the way, money. Nice. Guess I could say the tokens are the closest thing to collectibles in Trip's adventure, since, I repeat, the emeralds are... You do not have to grab the emeralds, and that definitely saves you a lot of time. Blue ring, we're gonna ignore that for now, I'm sorry. Special stages are pretty self-explanatory too, and for the sake of time and for the sake of maybe uploading twice in one day, with about 2 to 3 hour live streams, we're gonna save time, we're gonna ignore the special stages for now, since clearly it might be for the better. Anyways, back to avoiding Knack as we run through this Starlight Speedway atmospheric-like setting, even if this is a jungle and not a present setting. A civilized setting, thank you, that's the word I was looking for. I guess that's how you could describe Stardust Speedway in a way. For a second I thought I was gonna die there, to the endless abyss. Sure is a good thing that I have double jump with me. However, I am gonna miss Drop Dash. Rest in peace, my good old buddy old pal. Rest in peace. There's a giant ring over there, but we're gonna ignore them, as I previously mentioned. Also a good time to point out how there aren't any lives in this game, so if you die, don't worry, you'll never get a game over in this game. Don't you worry, we got you covered. Anyways, Knack, our good old buddy old pal, what do you have in stock for us? And yes, before you start telling me to call him Fang the Hunter, I'm gonna call him Knack. I prefer Knack over Fang. For reasons I mentioned earlier. Anyways, nice. good start, good start. But anyways, with commentary out of the way, back to focusing. Don't worry about the rockets, they're actually a lot less scary than you think. He's at least guaranteed to miss at least 95% of the time. As long as you're in motion, at least. But either way, don't worry. By that I mean, do be in motion, but take your time at times. Have a reasonable speed. Don't go too fast, but don't go too slow either, since there is a border coming for you, as you previously saw. And if you touch said border, you die. I know, very, very beginner friendly. Anyways, this is why this is hard mode. Anyways, nice. Here we go again. Oh boy, nice. And I believe that's the end of the level. This pathway brings back a lot of flashbacks, even if I only touched this game about what, 2 days ago, or actually 3 days. I lost count. Yeah, 3 days ago. Thank you. I was right the first time. Nice. And this time, since Word Trip herself, we didn't get run over. The good ending. We didn't die one time. Nope. Not even once. No one saw that. Clearly. Trip has gone through Act 2 and we got a medal. Nice. AKA currency. Speed Jungle Act 3. Go again, or should I say Jungle Stardust Speedway. It's pretty obvious as to... Pretty self-explanatory as to why I usually like to think of this as Stardust Speedway. Since speed is one of the main emphasis, and it's not only in the game, but it plays a lot like Stardust Speedway in its own way. Playing with backgrounds, the speed, the boost, stuff, everything's here. The only difference is the setting, that's all. It surely is a lot more natural, to put it like that. Nice. What did I tell you? Perfectly Power Master Plan. Excellent. Love doing that. Satisfying. Oh boy. So glad they went back to the original approach. Missed these games. Good memories, and a lot of nostalgia too, for that matter. If you haven't played the classic Sonic games, which basically play similar to the likes of Superstars, aka the game I'm currently playing, I do recommend you play them. You're missing out on an amazing experience, and they're definitely worth checking out since they are classics. Classics from the 20th century, for that matter. Classic platformers, to be exact. Pretty neat, considering the fact that they're what basically drove me into the Sonic franchise, and I love them. Well designed if I do say so myself, and I've always loved me a good challenge. Thank you. Anyways, go again. Good gosh, this game looks beautiful. Rather than going for the sprite approach for Sonic Mania, they went for modeling instead. Speaking of which, I may or may not be right or wrong, but I believe this was originally meant to be Sonic Mania 2. However, it was changed. I could be wrong though, or so I've heard. But who knows? Comment down below what you think. Anyways. And just that's the end of this segment. The vertical one, at least. And hey, would you look at that? As if fan service couldn't get any better. They even... Batniks from every Genesis Sonic are making an appearance here. Those bunnies you saw earlier, who you may or may not recognize, are actually strapped enemies from Sonic 1, fun fact. However, they actually made their first debut in Mania, when they were brought back by the fans. And fun fact, talk about Sonic Mania's development history for 1 second. The game was actually developed by fans, believe it or not, and they did a bang-up job with it in doing so. I'm glad they did. Thank you. Just what I needed. Anyways. Yes. I jumped. And that one misstep caused my demise. That makes me feel better, thank you. Hey, I didn't get hit this time, that's a first. Not dying this time to some random Batnik, no siree. Definitely. Missed my jump. That's... Okay, make that 3 times in a row. Good gosh. Not to mention I made a practice run of this game too. For obvious reasons. Oh boy. Not today, thank you. Nice. And going up. Nice. Is there anything over here? Yes, there is. A medal which I nearly missed. The balloons only give you rings, by the way. Nice. And hey, checkpoint number 2. Right underneath the first one. How convenient. We definitely needed that. Thank you. Excellent. And I believe that's boss, ladies and gentlemen. Only this time, I'm gonna do the unthinkable. I'm not gonna hold down the A button. I got too carried away this time, and this time we're fighting Egg Robo this time, a returning foe. Well, not the same one from Sonic and Knuckles, still. Cameo appearance, one could say. The first Egg Robo that actually played the role for a while, and it got destroyed. Way back in Sonic 3. By Knuckles, of course. This time, this boss is a literal joke if you're playing this with Trip, since he has a double jump and hides something you don't have to worry about. Unless you're commentating like me and you forget to run for 1 millisecond. Nice. I keep forgetting to run, why? Oh my goodness. Anyways, patience. Yes, quality content. This is what I live for. Nice. And he's furious now. Excellent. This time, this part is... I was about to say this part is a little joke, but then Gate said no. Since you could just camp him out like that. However, beware, since this gate prevents you from going up any higher, just like that. So do be sure to gain the additional altitude. Missiles. Hit the blue button and send it right back at him to give him a taste of his own medicine. Just like in Sonic Mania. Wouldn't you know? Batniks, am I right? Or Egg Robos, to be exact. Anyways. What's your next move? More missiles. The nukes. Rest in peace. It's also probably worth mentioning to be aware, since bosses don't not only have much quicker patterns in Trip's campaign, but they also have a lot more HP, so they take a lot more hits to kill. It's best to keep that in mind, since they're going to be stuck here for a while. Despite the obvious differences between the story modes, obviously. However, this is canon, so there you have it. Nice. We got a few hits away from death, and we're doing the right thing now. Nice. It's a pretty straightforward pattern. Just make sure you hit the missile the right way, since, unlike in Mania, the blue missiles don't home. They aren't homing missiles. So precision is key, as usual. And now he's spamming missiles, I see. Rest in peace. Easier done than said, ladies and gentlemen. And before I say it's easier said than done, I just flipped it around to better suit the situation at hand. Will I get the bonus? Stay tuned to find out. Drum roll, excellent. And just like that, we unlocked the bonus stage. For those of you who don't know, if you ever end up collecting a fruit, basically you'll unlock a bonus stage which you can play in the world map, which, just like the special stages, they're really just there to give you tokens, so we're not going to cover them for now, at least. For now, my only goal in mind, to put it like that, is to complete this campaign. Trip's campaign, to be exact. That's her name. Oh boy, Sky Temple. One of the few stones which actually only features one act. However, beware, since this zone is a lot less about speed and a lot more about platforming, so do beware. It's not like the last King Word. There are fans everywhere prevent you from dying. No. In this campaign, you actually have to be precise, since bottomless pits are a lot more commonly found here than in Sonic's campaign. Just like that. Precision. Good gosh, that scared me for a sec. Anyways. Pretty creative level design, though. Cartoonish, if I do say so myself. Anyways. Platforming. Nice. Ascend into the heavens. Nice. Anyways. Now, if this were the main story mode, you would have to spin dash and then do this and then keep going that way, where we basically find the giant ring to the right. But Since this isn't the main story mode, that giant ring is gone and instead replaced with rings. Just a tip, if you haven't played the main story mode, if you're trying to go for the emeralds. And boy are the emeralds a crucial part when it comes to making this a bit easier for those of you less experienced. Anyways, for instance, that one to target, I keep forgetting the name. Darn it. Please don't kill me. Go again, avoid the turrets as usual. How lovely. Nice. Anyways. Checkpoint, and onto the background we go. Nice and easy. Excellent. Speed. Supersonic racing. Just what I needed, thank you. And now we're doing the unthinkable and going left in the sight and in the platformer. 100% done the intended way, ladies and gentlemen. 100% indeed. Anyways. Thank you. That's just what I needed. Anyways, this is why you want emerald powers. In case something like that ends up happening, you have a backup alternative. Whoopie-doo. Anyways. To go up. So sad I didn't do that. And we're going this way. For the sake of saving time, we're speedrunning this. Any percent? Question mark? I mean, I guess you could say. It's the basic, since all you gotta do to 100% Trips campaign is, I believe, if you have the if you already, is just to beat the campaign. I'm not sure if you don't get any emeralds in the main story mode if you have to collect them in Trips campaign, but I don't think so from what I've seen. I mean, in my case, I got all of the emeralds in the main story mode, so hence I don't even have to go for them in Trips campaign. There's another giant ring over there for those of you who are going metal hunting. They're pretty dang useful if you want to get every cosmetic in the shop, which I might actually showcase later down the line. Do comment down if you want me to do so. Since I am nowhere near done with this game, no siree, I still have the battle mode to cover and all the other exclusive features you get for purchasing the deluxe edition. Since I'm a classic Sonic fan to be exact, and I obviously purchased it, and I'm looking forward to showcase its many features. Well, do stay tuned, I might do so, after I'm done with Mario Wonder, of course, since I figured I'd get the live streaming portion of my playthroughs out of the way. Nice. Time to right on time. Nice. Anyways. Well, do stay tuned. Excellent, I'm getting hit by Batniks every 10 to 15 seconds, and that's good to know. The egg robo showed up for 1 second, then changed its mind, and just like that, we escaped the tornado and onto the boss, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the second, or actually that's the third time you've been in a tornado on a Sonic game. Sonic really does have a history with tornadoes, doesn't he? Well, at least it started in the 3D games anyway. Anyways, boss. Don't be fooled by the saw patterns, they actually split into two. This is what I meant when I mentioned the boss patterns were altered. So do beware. Only this time, I can do the unthinkable and break the game. Since for those who don't know, this is what Trip's super form looks like. She's a literal dragon. True and, you know, perfectly fitting for a protagonist. And it definitely has a lot of lore going on for the story, especially the true final boss, spoiler alert, just why we're doing this. Nice. Work smarter, not hard, ladies and gentlemen. At this rate, we'll be done in no time. Anyways, touch the ground. Nice. Key to victory. Good to know, good to know. Trip's super horn is actually pretty cool, since for once you don't get more speed and invincibility, since she actually has a unique moveset. She's the only super character who can fly, and the only one who can breathe fire. Nice. However, while this is cool and all, do keep in mind that she can't, since she's a dragon, she can't spin dash in her super form, and she's not very fast, so do keep that in mind. There are pros and cons everywhere, but it's a unique super form, so take what you can get. That's why you do stuff like this. 100% definitely worth it, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely worth it indeed. Anyway, don't even have to worry about these patterns for now. Now I just have to hope that I finish him off before it does anything else. Hopefully. And just like that, nice and easy. Done and done, ladies and gentlemen. By far the shortest zone. Only took us 5 minutes, and this one only had one act. I love her idle animation. The one helmet she wore when she was working for Knack and Robotnik. How cute. considering the fact that, as I previously mentioned, she's shy. Understandable, if I do say so myself. Understandable indeed. No bonus this time, which means on to the next zone, ladies and gentlemen, or world, I should say. Done and done. And oh no, Egg Robo also escaped from one of those robots we saw earlier. He's definitely not going to come back, though. Don't worry about it. Definitely. We'll see him later. Darn, I spoiled something. Oh boy. Pinball Carnival, I think that's what this thing is called. The name just popped out and I instantly didn't read it. Excellent. Anyways. This always reminds me of Carnival Night from Sonic 3 Knuckles, and it's pretty obvious as to why. They have a lot of similarities everywhere, and this is the pinball-themed level. Fitting for Sonic, since he can curl up into a ball. Nice, and Speed is basically his middle name, to put it like that. Not really, but you get what I mean. If you played Sonic, at least. Anyways, going down. Nice. Or some aspects from previous Sonic games, too. Being Sonic Spinball, Sonic 3D Knuckles, and of course Sonic CD, and Sonic 2 and 1. Anyways, can't do anything else. Going back, it was worth getting the monitor. That way we can access Super Form if we get the opportunity to do so. But anyways, you actually have to go down. That's the intended path. Anyways. Going up, boy, these animations are so satisfying to watch. Well animated. You know what, I take back what I said before. I'll showcase one special stage, one bonus special stage. And again, plays exactly like the Emerald special stage, just only this time you're going for medals, which act as the game's currency, and I know what you're thinking. What am I referring to as currency? Well, basically, long story short, they actually added a shop where you can basically customize your own robots, which appear in the battle mode. However, to get parts, you actually have to buy them. Some of which are directly given to you if you buy the deluxe edition, but most of the others you have to buy, and to do so, you have to grind a decent amount of medals since they're currency, and just like that, nicely done. 5 medals, it is one, not bad. Not bad if I do say so myself. Anyways, Pinball Carnival Act 1, here we go again. I can't tell you how tempted I am to just use my super form, but at the same time, I want to showcase what the level looks like. The thing is, if I turn to Dragon, okay, never mind. Now I can't do so, and we accidentally go on to another special stage. How generous, game, thank you. I was about to say, I was tempted to turn to go super, but I didn't want to, since if I were to do so, then the level would play out a lot slower than usual, since as a dragon, you can't curl up, and you don't go very fast, and we would just be flying in. Before you know it, it would expire, and we would conveniently fall into a Batnik or a Pit of Spike, conveniently. Which is why I didn't bother using it, which is probably for the better. Anyways, 5 more medals, that's 10 in a row. Nice. Pretty straightforward stuff. Anyways, you have to go up now. Oh, thank you. Said me a couple times and I didn't even hit him back. And this is why you need emeralds. You know what, I actually take back what I said before. I think, regardless of whether or not you got the emeralds in the story mode or not, I think you do get them if you play a strip either way. However, they won't be unlocked in the story mode, I believe. Since the ability to slow time down, you don't get until you collect at least, what, 4 emeralds, or 3 of them, I think? And you definitely don't do that until later world, since, going back to this 100%ing story mode for a sec, basically you can only access the special stages to grab the emeralds only once per every world. It means you can only do that in the first act of every zone, so keep that in mind. It's a helpful tip. That way you're not just stuck for 2 hours in one zone trying to hunt down a giant ring. Just best to keep that in mind. Going up. And hey, medals, if we didn't have enough of those. Excellent. I don't have to showcase them anymore. And hey, we got another one. We're getting 100 rings, since we don't have lives, we have infinite lives. Anyways. The boss definitely learned from his previous mistake, and okay, we might as well go super. This is why I saved it. You have 100 rings too, how convenient. Timing couldn't get any better. Let's roast him, shall we? Nice. Anyways, next room. To hit him twice now. You don't have to hit him once, twice. He takes 6 hits to kill if you're playing as Trip. But if you're playing as Sonic, he only takes 3 hits to kill. That's what I mean. Anyways, next room. He's basically done for. This is probably, in my opinion, the easiest mini-boss in the entire game. Apart from the first one, of course, which was just a mere chase, a mere cutscene. And done. Easier done than said. And we rescued a jumbo-sized pig flicky. Nice. That is Act 1. That will do just fine, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, you can even bounce it around to reveal hidden monitors. Secrets, ladies and gentlemen, and you even get an achievement or a trophy, depending on which console you're playing on, if you uncover a hidden monitor. And just like that, we got a shield. Nice. 2 medals. Act 2. We unfortunately don't have time for bonus games. I'm sorry. Anyways, 40 minutes in. Not bad. Not bad indeed. Pinwheel Carnival Act 2. Nice. And this time, roller coasters, ladies and gentlemen. What we do, this is an amusement park for a reason or two. A Robotnik amusement park. When as far as referencing canceled movies, wouldn't you know? Really can't get enough of the fan service, can you? Anyways, going up. Let's try. Thank you. Just nailing my precision today. Nice and easy. Excellent. So another special stage over there, in case you couldn't tell. And up we go. Unless that happens, of course. Inconvenience. Inconvenience indeed. Ooh, make that double. Sure is a good thing we can climb stuff. Anyways. And we're blowing up stuff now. We're blowing stuff up now, I meant to say. My dearest apologies. And now we're getting hit. Damage boost. Since we forgot to change the... Since we forgot to deactivate the flame. Anyways. Going for monitor. For the sake of cheesing boss fights, obviously. They're better off. Agree or disagree, I'd say you're personally better off saving your rings for boss fights than to just... Or saving your super form, sorry, for boss fights than to just use them endlessly in levels. It'll do you a lot better, trust me. Don't ask how I know. Anyways, we're meant to go up. Or are we? This way. Nice. Definitely don't want to fall down. This is just like a pinball minigame, ladies and gentlemen. Or should I say, spinball. Just like that. Checkpoint. And back to roller coasters. A very safe amusement park indeed, ladies and gentlemen. No need for safety first. Don't you worry. We got you covered. Anyways. Back to precision. Nice. And by also things, we're gonna have to jump up now. Always go for the highest one, trust me. You'll be a lot safer than if you go down. It's typically how things work in Sonic games. For the most part, at least. Nice. I could have gone up, but staying on the same track was also an option, so wasn't necessary. Oh, hello to you too, Crack Soda. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the stream. Greetings indeed. Thanks for joining too. You're having a great day. Anyways. Back to speedrunning. And patience. We've definitely got caused a mess now, have we? Well, it sure is a good thing it's a video game, or else this would have gotten messy really quick. Up. What did I tell you? Oh, nice metal, convenient. And I missed. And that immediately caused my death. Or did it? Didn't even know there was a checkpoint here, I actually went down. What did you know? I cheated death. Presumed dead, ladies and gentlemen. Presumed dead indeed. And roller coasters respawn, obviously. In case things like these happen. And I missed again. Anyways. Only this time, I didn't die. Oh, get that speedrun indeed. That's why we're playing Sonic. Speed is the name of the game, and I'm missing all my jumps. Excellent. What about this time? And I missed my jump again. Nice. This time I actually nailed the jump for once. Or did I? What did I tell you? Perfectly part or master plan. Nothing happened. Nothing went wrong, definitely. Safe and sound. Anyways, boss, what do you have in store for us, Egg Robo? Thank you very much. Oh no. Cutscenes. Anyways, back to playing patient game, only this time or actually, that's a lie, we can cheese the boss. One moment, please. I used the wrong one. Dang it. Or did I? This went from Rasputin to apparently this now, since I accidentally pressed... when I was meant to select Avatar, I select another one I conveniently didn't even want to pick. Anyways, that's what I meant to do. Thank you. That's why Emerald powers exist. Work smarter, not hard, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Correction, it's actually Egg Robo, since Eggman was supposedly already defeated here last time. Anyways. Or never, we don't even have to boost. I guess Trip really is that OP, isn't she? Anyways, back to my good old saying, work smarter, not harder. Just like that. Intense, am I right? Intense indeed. Anyways. I know. It's depressing. What is going? Okay, apparently he's refusing to attack now, and huh. Well, that's why I can always do that. Thank you. For a sec, the boss glitched, and okay, that works too. We are definitely just completely mocking this boss fight straight up. Make that twice for that matter. Excellent. Now the $1 million question is he gonna glitch again? Not this time, thank you. You're really helping me save time here, thank you. Gotta use the invincibility frame, and thank you. And that's how you spear in a boss fight, ladies and gentlemen. 100% done on the unintended way. Anyways, this is what you subscribe for. Here we go again. Nice. And yep, we definitely just destroyed the amusement park completely. Rest in peace, Robotnik statue. Act 2. Always reminds me of Stardust Speedway. Anyways. Next act. What a humiliating fight that was for the Egg Robo. Rest in peace, rest in peace. Anyways, Lagoon City. Game really did try to snipe me there. Anyways. Oh, you too, Craig, so enjoy our meal. You deserve it. Thanks for joining, man. Wouldn't really call this a speedrun. For the most part, I just said that just to mess around. But I guess you could technically say it like that, since I am for the most part trying to rush. It goes both ways. It could either be a speedrun or a casual playthrough. Sonic could either be both. That's why his middle name is Speed, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed. Anyways. Unique abilities, and here we go again. Nice. Back to destroying good old Egg Robo, since they're apparently yet again trying to finish off what Robotnik started and invade the island completely. Even if Robotnik was just here moments ago, before he got his humiliating defeat to Sonic. Anyways. Monitors, thank you. And here we go again, onto the Pit of Spikes. Now that's what I call good level design, and we accidentally went into a special stage. Oh boy, sure is a good thing this is a casual playthrough, not a speedrun. No, don't you worry. Anyways, I'm missing every boost. And now it's also probably good. Going back to what I said before about the bombs, I actually take back everything I said about the special stages. After a while of actually playing them, sure, it is somewhat luck-based with the whole getting your target to go the way you want it to basically get the nail boosts. It's actually not like that. Even you can actually also use the bombs to your own benefit as long as you don't drag yourself towards them. If you only touch them, they'll actually boost you. So that's actually good advice if you're trying to really grind these special stages and get emeralds. So keep that in mind. It's very useful. I take back what I said. This game's very underrated in my opinion. deserves a lot more credit than it gets. It's actually a very fun one, too. And for someone like me, this is the game I've been waiting for quite a while now, after Origins. Anyways, to be fair, Origins was actually the first time I ever got to touch the Genesis games, now that I think about it. And the Game Gear games, for that matter. So, pros and cons all the way, depending on whether or not you touched a classic Sonic game or not. Either way, you're welcome. And only two... Darn it, I was only 2 away. I did not mean it. I meant to hit him, but... Okay, that works too, I guess. Nice. Killing his own kind while he's at it. I thought I could slam him, but the game proved me wrong. Anyways, good thing Avatar's here to save the day. Just like that. What did I tell you? Say it with me now. Work smarter, not harder, ladies and gentlemen. The one time you win by doing absolutely nothing. You don't even have to kill the Batman since he does that himself. Just like that. And I missed. No one saw that, definitely. Don't let you worry. This time I'm gonna make sure I'm actually not 2 meters. Okay, even when I was 2 millimeters away from him, I still can't hit him. 1 millimeter, thank you. That's what I was waiting for. Anyways. I don't really have a good reason to use my special abilities and accidentally select my additional move. Which I might actually show up later. Right now it's just not the right time to show it off. Anyways. Trying my best to stay focused here. Well, this is a pretty straightforward one, don't you worry. Anyways. And because there's a mini-boss, there's obviously going to be another act. That's how Sonic logic works. Anyways. Patience. My good old buddy, my good old friend. Your move. And just like that, Act 1, ladies and gentlemen, done and done. No need for super form, definitely. Anyways, thank you very much. I'm getting my bonus, and hey, how convenient. All perfectly planned from the start, ladies and gentlemen. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Anyways, next act, Act 2, which is conveniently just so happens to be Amy's act. For those of you who don't know, actually that's a lie. I actually lied. Lagoon. I keep forgetting the name so quickly. This level actually has this level actually has 3 acts. It doesn't have 2. It has 3 of them actually, and one of which you're meant to play as Amy. For the sake of story purposes, and it's pretty fitting that you play as Trip for this act too, since in this act, it's canonically where Trip actually first met Amy, and hence when she began considering whether or not she should actually join Sonic and Friends on their quest to stop Robotnik and save the island from his grasp. It's a pretty neat stage. For the most part, one could argue that it is a bit trickier to collect fruit with Trip, but she plays out somewhat identical to Amy, only she doesn't immediately get her hammer out when she jumps. Which is pretty essential when it comes to getting the fruit. Anyways, the loop we were just on top of, if this was the main story, fun fact, there actually would have been another giant ring there for an emerald, fun fact. Anyways, back to Fruit Mania. Since for those of you who don't really have a lot of fruit, then this is the good time to go grind for some, since they could easily help you grind for metals, so it's a good tip too. Only it's recommended you do it a lot more often as Amy and not Trip, mainly because she's a lot more about precision and Amy's more about the offense, so one could say. Anyways, what am I doing? I'm not to push that. I'm not Amy. And normally you're meant to push those two into those holes to basically make yourself a clear path, but since you have a double jump, that's really not necessary. That's why, as you all know, there's a good old saying that goes like this: work smarter, not harder. Anyways, references. And what do you know, this is the exact same pit where Trip fell when she was setting up a trap for Sonic. How lovely. When Trip and Amy meet for the first time. You're really getting flashbacks. Only this time, this segment is a lot faster, assuming you don't get hit like me every 10 seconds or so. And I died because I was too impatient to wait. And this time I had something that I didn't have last time, and that was speed. Anyways, good timing. You could technically get this done in a matter of time, just like that. Since obviously this segment was intended for Amy, for Amy while she was carrying Trip to the end of the level. Since, for those who don't know, in this act, when you basically made contact with Trip, you actually couldn't really run too fast or spin dash. Just why the level was designed like this way, and why it may not seem very fitting for Trip. But hey, lore, it's important, so thank you. Just what I needed. Even love how the goalpost changes to her. Nice. Creativity indeed. Just ways to do. Anyways. Act 3, aka the boss act. As you all know. Hey, just like Labyrinth, we all have good memories from that zone, obviously. As do I. Anyways. Nice. Enemies killing themselves. Nothing too fancy. Or actually, I should say fancy. If you're gonna kill a badnik, you might as well do it in style. Not today. We're not drowning. No siree. This time, I guess this level, some could say, is also a joke with Trip, since she can climb stuff, and since half the level is just engulfed with, has she just platforming in between walls, and it's not much of a big deal, since you could climb them, as Trip at least, assuming you don't get hit every 10 seconds or so. Oh boy, here we go again. Back to the element that is patience, unless if I wanted to use an emerald the game was constantly telling me to use for about 10 minutes now. Just like that, just make sure you don't get hit. As tempting as it is to mash the the dash button, if you hit something then it's bye-bye and back to slow-paced action. So keep that in mind, it's a useful tip. The one time when a Sonic character could actually swim, the one time when a Sonic character who wasn't Tails could swim. Since Tails is actually technically the only one who can swim, funny enough. I mean, he is a fox after all, so I guess it does make sense to give him that privilege. Thank you. Sure, it's a good thing the game gives you good advice on this. And every time you pass for a checkpoint, your emerald energy gets replenished, so you can basically use them immediately after you bypass the checkpoint. However, if you do run out of emerald energy, then you can't use them again until you make contact with another checkpoint. So keep that in mind. It's for the better. And hey, how convenient. Speaking of checkpoints, you could have used Ivy, but instead I'd rather go straight. Or right, I should say, since that's what you typically do in platformers. You go right. Nice. Perfectly planned, nothing to see. Going down the pipe. Nailed it. Anyways, up we go. And hey, just like Chemical Plant, we're going this way. It's the way I want to go. And of course I spin that the wrong way. Excellent. Anyways. Grinding for rings. I'm sorry about my mashing. The one thing I still have to nail these days, mashing. Not to mention I actually used to be somewhat good at mashing, and then I just... Oh, okay, that happens, too. We're going the opposite way this time to prevent stuff like that from happening again. Anyways. What does the game have in store for us? A medal. Thank you. I need that. Hey! Wallace. And we're gonna drown the pipes. Nice. Anyways, back to water sliding. And this is a water park now, apparently. Whoopie-doo. Wee. Nice. No thank you. Sonic 1 enemies everywhere. Anyway, I guess some could say this place a bit like was a combination of both Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1 and Hydro City from Sonic 2, in a way. But I guess the topic is debatable. I forgot to. Okay, well, rest in peace. I forgot to use my power, and then the game said no. Well, that's good. Well, here we go again. Gotta be patient now, since we have to do all that again. Fun fact: when you're actually in the middle of something, you actually can't. When you're in the middle of something like water sliding, just to say the least, you can't use Emerald Powers. So keep that in mind. And it's the one octopus you encountered earlier in the main story mode, who was holding Trip captive. Anyways. Absolutely everything's after her head. Even the game's after her head. Even if that was only just timing. Anyways. Thank you. Speaking of timing, precision, always important indeed. Sure is a good thing we encountered an air bubble a lot earlier. Anyways. Nice. And hey, that's just what I was waiting for. Not today. I was too impatient to wait for an air bubble. And now we're dealing with this now. Anyhows, to the end of the level we're racing. And hey, speaking of the end of the level, we're actually approaching it. What did you know? Is that convenient? Nice. And onwards we go. And hey, we have 66 rings. You know what that means. Or actually, that's also probably a good time to check out the special stage within the goalpost. Would you look at that? It's a direct callback to the special stages for Sonic 1, since for those of you who don't know, this were the very first special stages, and you have to actually grab the emeralds in the very first Sonic. The way I put it was so weird, but in this game, boy, they are so satisfying to control. Since for one, physics are actually a thing now, and they played pretty smoothly. Only this time, instead of going for emeralds, you're going for, you guessed it, medals. Thought I'd show this since this was a pretty cool throwback to the very first song that started it all. Even the emerald trend. How remarkable. Just make sure you don't accidentally end this final stage by jumping inside the portals, and just like that, we cleared it. Pinball, ladies and gentlemen. Pinball indeed. Trip got herself a nice 3 medals and a Whirlig World. That is another trophy since I'm playing on PlayStation. Fun fact. Lagoon Act 3. Lagoon City, that's what the zone's called. Anyways. Boss. I'm not skipping the cutscene. Even if it's so tempting to. And just like that, this boss is already giving me flashbacks to Labyrinth Zone. Since we have to catch up to the boss itself, only this time, we can do the unthinkable and swim. Just like that. Safety now, work smarter, not harder, ladies and gentlemen. Just be sure you don't accidentally and conveniently run out of rings as you're trying to get the final hit on him. You wouldn't want that to happen now, would you? Anyways. Nice. Another hit on him. This boss is pretty straightforward. If you're in super form, just worry about getting to him with your trip and just nailing your hits on him. But normally, you just have to catch up to him and use this platform and to basically navigate your way towards him. And then this is the final segment, where you have to basically rinse and repeat, only this time while avoiding attacks. Unless you're super, of course. Like I am. And I can't even breathe fire. Pretty unsurprising. Anyways, just like that, wouldn't you know? Robots can swim. Surprised considering the fact that they're encased in armor, but you never know. It may be a lot lighter than it looks. And hey, it's about the trip. That's her name, alright. That's her name indeed. Act 3, ladies and gentlemen. Act 3 indeed. Good to know. Next world, shall we? There was no cutscene for whatever reason. Apparently Trip didn't get as much of those as Sonic did. Anyways. Sand Sanctuary. Another zone with only one act, spoiler alert. But I guess I'm not too worried about giving spoilers, since, to be frank, you should basically be concerned about beating Trip's story after completing the main story mode, so you should basically know how the story goes. And this also takes place during the events of story mode. Not exactly sure when exactly, but definitely after Trip betrays Knack the Weasel. Which we'll get to later. Spoilers. Nice. Anyways, up we go. And as usual, avoiding Batniks. Didn't even need to use emeralds. No thank you. The platforming mania, alright. Anyways. Now, if this was the main story mode, to get another special stage, you would have to get to that, to jump over it. And I guess you could call this a speedrun in a way, but it saves you a lot of time. So if you are looking forward to speedrun this game, that's a tip. Take shortcuts. You won't regret doing so, it'll save you some frames. Anyways. For a second I thought it could go up, I was wrong. Nice. Quality content indeed. Round of applause. Up we go. Nice. Dang it. Lost my momentum for one saw blade. Get all in style. It's always seemed to go through the portal, but I don't want to waste frames, so I'm not going to. I'm going to avoid it for now. And instead, we're going to go up. Although I think I actually lied. I think that actually saves time, if anything. Oh well. Anyways. It's fine. Anyways. What am I doing? I can climb stuff. Forgetting to do that. Anyways. Nice. And here we go. Running on top of the snake. Safety first indeed. Nothing can go wrong. Obviously. You should also probably point out that as you approach the midpoint of the level, in Trip's campaign at least, an egg robot will always come to try to snipe you and get a free hit for himself. Just like that. You can't kill him, he's in the background. Whether he is or isn't the same egg robot who's taking the role of Robotnik is debatable, but I guess you could say he somewhat is, since we actually don't get the chance to kill him. And speaking of boss fights, wouldn't you know, timing couldn't be better. It's time for a boss, alright. A Sand Sanctuary boss. And here we go again. N.A. Egg Robo, we just saw him 2 seconds ago. A long time no see. Long time no see indeed. What do you have in store for us? Cutscenes. And here we go again. Patience. And as always, he's like the background. A pretty self-explanatory boss. Basically, you have to hit Batniks back at him. Batniks that come out of your way. Specifically the blue ones. You have to hit the blue ones, not the red ones. If you hit the red ones, you'll just destroy them. Trust me. Well, you may be wondering, how does one tell where the blue one's coming from? It's the fastest one. Every time, pay close attention to the movement of sand, and the one that's approaching you at the fastest speed, that's the one that you want to hit. Just keep that in mind, and you should be able to hit him every time. Just like that. In this case, the one that's moving the fastest is this one. Just like that. Right back at you. Kirby. Hope you get the reference. Anyways. Oh boy, any day now. And no platforms were even lost. Nice. Pretty straightforward yet fun boss, since this pattern is pretty dang easy to learn. but it's satisfying, alright. Nice. And it's this way. Only this time we could hit him. Actually, that's why we could. So I have to pay close attention. Anyways. He's just gonna manipulate his pattern to get him to replace these blocks that he destroyed earlier, since we're definitely gonna need them. They're very essential to our movement options. And one more for the road, ladies and gentlemen. One more for the road indeed. I'll take my bonus, thank you. And hey, he's furious. Good to know. And he pulled up. We couldn't hit him that time. Alright, back to manipulating his pattern. So we want to replace these blocks. He's always going to target the position you're closest to. So keep that in mind. It's another good tip for this boss. If you want to beat him, if you want to nail his pattern. This one. And that one too. Only we weren't fast enough to hit that one. And instead, we ourselves got hit. Nice. Anyways, patience. Even love how the characters make a pose whenever they're fighting a boss. Extra details, you know. Pretty cute. Anyways, these two. And I even got hit. Whoopie-doo. Good start. Good start indeed. Anyways, now would be a good time to replenish these three. Thank you, Egg Robo. Getting lag for a sec. Nice. Or slow down, I should say, not lag. Wrong word. And he's still... Wee. And just that's the boss, ladies and gentlemen. Straightforward. Another defeat. Or another defeat for Egg Robo and another victory for us. Nice. Bonus! Please and thank you. The game said no. We'll get him next time, don't worry, we'll get him next time. But that is another world in the bag, ladies and gentlemen. In the bag indeed. I'll take my medals and onwards we go. Press Factory. Wouldn't you know? When there was once, originally the name, the word press was used in a zone known as the Press Garden, and now Press Factory. One far more mechanized than the other, obviously. This one actually has a much more intense gimmick, in my opinion, which you actually have to constantly be on the lookout of when the master in the background is going to hit the ground. Since when it does, you'll be sent flying upward by force, obviously, since that's how physics work. And it's good to know whether or not you're about to hit spikes, or if you want to go a certain way. However, this can be avoided by simply jumping at the time. Jumping when it's about to hit the ground, just like that. If you time your jump correctly, then you won't get bounced upwards. Trust me, don't ask how I know. Nice. I do appreciate the surprise. A very warm welcome indeed. Thank you. How generous. Ooh, make that twice. Thank you. And make that 3 times. Suffocation. Good gosh, my good old buddy, old pal. It's definitely good to run into obstacles like that at times. Anyways, jump. Wee, middle. Thank you. Sonic, ladies and gentlemen, welcome indeed. Welcome indeed. And up we go. I don't even have to wait for the timing since we have a double jump. Excellent. And also note that when he does make contact with the ground, you'll also be knocked out of walls if you're climbing them. So do keep that in mind. It's a useful tip. Going this way now. Avoiding the obstacles as usual. With the best timing, of course. And hey, gimmick. We go. Try to feed us the bats, but that didn't happen. Thankfully. And hey, look who's coming back to try to leech your life. Egg Robo came back for a second, then he just instantly pieced. Timing. Only this time it's actually a lot more quicker. It does a lot more frequently, I should say. So every time you hear that, you hear the one time where it gets the breather. That's when that's the signal. There it is again. Patience. But if you're in this segment, then you don't have to worry about any of that. It's more about just hitting the core and overheating it, of course. Anyways. Nice. Always satisfying to do that. And that. Thank you. Nice. Double nice. And there it is. Can I just be the first to point out how the only time where we actually use this Emerald ability is when the game makes it. It's almost always when the game makes you use that. You usually never, well, unless you, of course, you're trying to memorize the boss pattern, you really never use the Emerald that allows you to slow down time. I forgot what the move's called, I'm sorry. But I do know what suffocation is. I would know since it's the one thing that, the reason as to why I die 50%, 95% of the time when I play Sonic. Good gosh. Okay, sure, thank you. Right as I was about to hit him when he was going downwards, he decided, as he was going up, he decided to descend, and I got hit by his spikes. Nice. Thank you. Nice. So tempting to just hold right in a Sonic game. And speed is the emphasis, of course. Anyways, I'm going to be going down. Assuming I time my jumps correctly. There it is, frequency. And onwards we go. I believe we already approached the end of the level. I assume and hey, I was right. My memory serves me correct. Boss. Only this time it's the monkey. Coconuts? Question mark? Just kidding. It's pretty obvious it's not that character from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. But it always reminds me of it for good reasons. It's a monkey, alright. And as always, we use our signature move, Avatar, to finish him, to get a clean hit on him. Assuming we don't get lost in the crowd, of course, like I just did. We're carried away by commentary, like I also just did. Whichever you prefer, pick your poison. Anyways. Only this time with commentary and referencing out of the way. Focus. Yes. Of course. Anyways. Avatar. Nice. Clone Army. This is Star Wars now, apparently. It's so close. Can't tell you how satisfying it would have been if I see that one clone get that clean hit on him. No idea how much time would have saved me. Even if it was only a mere hit and not much else. Anyways, I'd say now's a good time to showcase Trip's special move, or extra move you get from after you grab the final emerald. Which is... wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, never mind. Apparently the boss said no. I apparently hit it before I got a chance to use it. Maybe next time, maybe next time. The only thing is... I'd say the only thing I don't really like about Trip's extra move is that you really don't have a good reason to use it, even if you're fighting bosses. And I didn't even know you could do that. Wouldn't you know? The game's just giving me all the more reason not to use the move, even if I'm so tempted to showcase it. You know what? Just for the road. I pressed the wrong button. And there it is. You didn't even see that since I immediately got a hit after activating it. But basically, once activated, Trip will absorb the power that is the Fire Flower, and basically just use it for your own advantage. Or I'm sorry, that didn't make any sense at all. basically harness the power of a fire flower and basically shoot fireballs. Only the fireballs don't have range and they disappear instantly. Well, I'd say 5 to 6 seconds after you shoot them. And they move a bit slower too, so well, it is a funny reference to you know who. You really don't have a whole good reason to use it. I mean, maybe if you want to damage boss fights at times, but that's really about it. If they're not grounded, then you have no reason to use it. Act 2, ladies and gentlemen. Act 2 indeed. Here we go again. Okay, we're about 1 hour in. Will I get my 2 hours this time? I hope so, since we're not going for emeralds. Okay, go again. Back to the drone. For those who don't know, this act revolves around you having to constantly press switches, or buttons in this case, to basically prevent the drone in the background from killing you. Since if you manage to fully charge up, then he's gonna instantly kill you and you die. So do be sure to be on the lookout for switches. They'll definitely come in handy, alright? Definitely. But thankfully, since we destroyed the Masher in the first half, we don't have to worry about getting bounced up and down constantly, so it's good. Anyways. Intentional, don't you worry. All perfectly part of my master plan. Even that. Going down, apparently. Nice. My name says no. And good gosh, I need to find a switch. Thank you. It almost got too warm. Reaches full power, the machine's basically gonna get too warm to the point where it's gonna blow the entire level up. And you don't want that, since we're still inside the level. When we escape, it's good. And since it's still a contraption of robotics making. And hey, rocket. Go again. Space we go. Only this time conveniently get directed to the left, which definitely goes against the rules of... which may or may not go against the rules of platforming. The platformers, at least. But pretty cute animations. Cartoonish, am I right? Anyways. Shutting the factory down. As if this were Mario RPG, which we'll get into later, don't you worry. Stay tuned. Couldn't find the better moment to relate to that game. And that happens, of course. My good old friend Suffocation says no. Oh, here we go again. Another matter of patience. Thank you. This time you're gonna try to stay as high up as possible, since at least I'm not as likely to get sniped by Suffocation within 10 minutes of playing. And, oh hey, it's the part where we died last time. This brings back good memories, definitely. Only this time, the unthinkable happened and we didn't suffocate for once in life, thank you. Anyways. Who needs platforms when you could just climb stuff, obviously. If there are walls, at least. Cute. It's going up. Thank you. We barely made it. Anyways. Oh no. Close call indeed. Even the game gives you a heads up as to when he's gonna fully charge up. And just like that, we've just about reached the end of the act, ladies and gentlemen. Not today, thank you very much. And what better way to end the level off than with our good old buddy old pal, Suffocation. Known each other for so long. But just like that, we're out of here. Or are we? Missile set out otherwise. And yeah, that's definitely gonna be... oh, yep, rest in peace engine. A decent amount of missiles, and just like that, a rocket blows up. Yikes. Anyways, we fall to our inevitable doom. Not death. Spoilers. Though it is a good time to hunt for rings, especially if you're that close to accessing your super form. And speaking of super form, wrong one. Timing couldn't be better. We've made it to the boss. And you'll see that music change, that way to let you know that you're halfway through the game already. Makes it seem like this is the final boss, but it's actually not spoilers. And there it is. Fearsome as always. Egg Robo. Yep. Well, here we go again. Not today, thank you. Now I just gotta hope Suffocation's feeling generous today, and actually lets me sneak in a hit or two. Just like that. Save with me now, work smarter, not harder, ladies and gentlemen, just like that. Ooh, that's 3 hits now. If you're super, I recommend staying in between his legs. It's a lot easier, that way you don't accidentally risk getting hit. However, every time you do hit him, I have no idea how I just died, but anyways. That was weird. Apparently, even the game feared my strength. I was apparently too powerful that even the game knew it was done for. Just why it said no. Twice. Physics, am I right? Anyways, as if I couldn't get a break from suffocation for at least 20 minutes or so. But hey, you know what? For once, let's do something the intended way, shall we? Just kidding. Today's not that day. No siree. That's why my good old friend Avatar is here. Okay, never mind. The game says no twice. Really wish I had been on the other side. And now I am. What is happening? It's like I thought I was gonna lose the ring. Nope. Only beware, since this boss is actually a lot faster paced, as previously mentioned. But for the most part, I recommend camping in between his legs. At least that way you're not in the risk of getting smashed. Just like that. Thank you very much. Okay, apparently game says no twice and just deletes another one of my rings from existence, and now we gotta deal with this. Just for insurance. Thank you. This is why we have emerald powers, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we have them indeed. I really needed that extra hit, and now we have to bear the very threat to Sonic that is slow motion. Oh, goody. Close call. And game says, and instantly I get deleted. Excellent. Thank you. Will the game feel more generous when it comes to patterns? Well, let's find out. RNG, do me a favor here. Thank you. Finally got the hit I wanted to sneak in moments earlier. Please bear with me. I know how you feel. Oh boy. It was pattern this time. Thank you. And thank you. He is getting in between his legs, assuming he doesn't instantly smash the floor afterwards. Thank you. Finally, he made up his mind. Probably because I was camping underneath him, but it's just how his programming goes. Anyways. Patience. Not today, thank you. Oh boy, please bear with me. Could have gone underneath him, but either way I probably wouldn't have enough time to get behind him since it was a long road, so... Never mind, I take back what I said. I did have enough time. That time at least. Good gosh, voice crack. Good gosh, I'm so glad he didn't instantly change direction. Thank you. Oh boy. No, 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 no. Please, no. Thank you. Not today. Maybe next time. And that next time came immediately afterwards, and of course I jinxed something. Good gosh. Every time I'm 2 hits away from killing the boss, and the game just decides to snipe me afterwards, as always, of course. Thank you. Finally got a hit on him. The intended way for once. Thank you. Hitbox is sure generous. Thank you. It's 2 hits. I believe he takes 9 hits to kill. I may or may not be wrong. Or 6, I'm not sure. It's easy to lose. When you're relentlessly trying to kill, smashing into something, it's hard to keep track of how many hits you've nailed on him. No thank you. Good gosh, that was a close one. And back to this move. Only this time we have the upper hand. Nice. We're out of here. Instead, we have absolutely no room to breathe. If he had stayed there. However, his pattern is very straightforward and easy to learn. Just don't get impatient like I did, and he should be fine. Personally, when he's about to make the Mega Smash, I always recommend spin dashing underneath. It's gonna save you a lot of time and it'll take some pressure off you, alright? No thank you. And I didn't even have enough time to crawl up into a ball. This isn't like Mario. Unfortunately, this isn't like Mario where you only have to make sure your feet are touching the enemy to get a hit. This time, you actually have to be curled up to get a hit on an enemy. Just like that. Oh, I couldn't be happier to see he went with this move. Thank you. It saves me frames. And it saves me rings, obviously. Thank you. I'm so tempted to use an emerald, but will that end well? That's what I want to know. I know I'm close to killing him, though. I've lost count of how many times I've hit him. That's the thing that does annoy me, however. Okay, and of course, at the worst possible moment, I press the button. Now I gotta bear with this. I should have done that earlier. Go ahead and hit, I mean. Good gosh, I thought that was gonna lead to my death. Thank you. What did I tell you? I said I was 1 hit away from killing him, and of course, as much as the game wanted me to die, that didn't happen. Not today, sir. No thank you. And we're off screen. As Egg Robo, as usual, makes a run for it, and it once again escapes using his trusty jetpack, as always. And hey, what did I tell you? I told you to get the bonus. Only this time the boss fight wasn't as smooth, unfortunately. It may or may not have something to do with patience, but it's fine. Anyways, Golden Capital. The second level that plays out like a lot similar to like of a pinball-like setting. Sorry, the second level that plays similar to the likes of pinball. Good gosh, forgive my grammar. Want to go down? Thank you. You've been waiting anxiously to use your super to gain access to try your new super form. This is definitely the stage to do so in. Since when it comes to rings, this stage is very generous with rings. I mean, it's called Golden Capital for a reason or two. Aztec and yep, South America-like setting, of course. Pretty fitting. Anyways. Thanks, game. Anyways. Of course. Well, one moment, please. Thank you. 7 years later, we're out of that pit. I'm not going back there by any means. No, thank you. This way we go. And hey, back to using my good old drill. And as always, drilling into rocks. Nice. Pretty self-explanatory stuff, which I'm not going to bore you with. Details. For which I'm not going to bore you with respect to detail. Good gosh, forgive me. And I die, of course, and yep, I was too impatient yet again. I, of course, didn't have any rings. Hitboxes surely are weird in this game. I have to say. There's clearly enough evidence that proves that opinion. Anyways. And hey, just like last time, almost every time one gets to this part, it always must be completed with any rings. And hey, conveniently, rings, wouldn't you know? And I missed the boost, as usual. This way. And onto the background. Wee. Back to spinballing, I should say. Wee. Satisfying to do that. And notice you go, we made it through our biggest obstacle, suffocation, no, just kidding. So actually, patience, anyways. Or impatience, I should say, that makes a lot more sense. Anyways. Wee. And back to the background we go. Whoopie-doo. Any day now. We're definitely making a bank account here, if I do say so myself. Of course, the moment I get the boost I was waiting for, I get sent back down to where I was, of course. Physics, please do me a favor. Thank you. I could have gone for a special stage, but this video is long enough already. I think there's no need for that. For now, at least. And I think I just predicted the future. And I did. What did I tell you? Catch the medal. Funny enough, the game says catch the V medals. I mean, to be fair, the one medal you're chasing is actually worth 5 medals, so I guess it's fitting in some way. Wee. Going this way. Funny enough, it's actually the final special stage. Resembles the final special stage, sorry. For the Emerald, at least. Anyways, trying my best here. I could really use a boost by now. And of course I didn't get one, as usual. This is already bringing awful flashbacks. Good gosh. And I did not mean to do that. When you're in a special stage, note to self, do not mash. You won't get anywhere, and yep, I've clearly proven that already. Well, that's probably for the better, and in the end, we just wasted time. Excellent, thank you. Well, it's almost forced there out of will, but it's fine. Anyways, back to drilling. Precision, am I right? Anyways. Glad we're out of there. And here we go again. And hey, those one enemies from Metropolis Zone in Sonic 2. They all bring back good memories, obviously. As they should. Only this time, don't worry. In the game, they actually have reasonable hitboxes, unlike 90% unlike those enemies we just encountered. They're pretty weird. You'd think you could probably hit them from the side, but you actually really can't. You actually really can't do so. I mean, you could try, and if you're precise enough, you can, but the hitbox is just weird because of how they're structured as an enemy. You're the weird one, alright. Oh boy. Anyways. Feels like that. Thank you. Oh boy, patient game. Thank you. Good gosh, close call. Bumblebees. That's what they are. I think so, at least. Spin us the wrong way. Usual. Hard master plan, don't worry. And back to going the right way. Thank you. Wee. I shouldn't have jumped. And I did either way. Anyways, any day now. It's been a while since we encountered loot. It's good to see one, as usual. And hey, 50 some... Okay, spoke too soon. This sure is convenience. To be fair, it is a pretty fitting boss fight. A piggy bank, wouldn't you know? We were just speaking of bank accounts earlier, and this is the bank, alright. It's in the name. Just like that. Only this time it takes 6 hits to kill, not 3. Since we're playing as Trip and not as Sonic, so... wouldn't expect much else. However, you can combo him and you can camp him endlessly if you're precise. Just like that. Might be one of the quickest boss fights we've encountered. Mini boss fights for that matter. 67, not bad. Not bad indeed. Nice. And that is Act 1, ladies and gentlemen. On to Act 2. And it only took us 5 minutes. Oh boy, oh boy. What abomination awaits ahead? Well, let's find out, shall we? Golden Capital Act 2. And already, you already... I was about to say, already, did you have an idea of what you thought was going to happen? And hey, game makes us use Avatar. I mean, wouldn't blame it. It is a very decent ability. You're most likely going to use just the cheese bosses like I do, which is pretty normal, pretty natural. It certainly makes life a lot easier, and especially if you're speedrunning, of course. Anyways. Nice. Going up. Not today. No idea what happened there. Oh boy. Speed. And this is the part of the video where I conveniently have run out of commentary. Excellent. On the bright side, at least that means I can for once focus and not try to get myself killed by talking every 5 seconds. And hey, Avatar, yet again. The sequel. The ability was just so good they had to make you use it twice. I repeat, I wouldn't blame them. You don't believe me? You always have the option to try it for yourself. Recommend this game, it's a pretty decent one at that. Classy. Anyways, I'm gonna do this the unintended way as I usually do, and climb, of course. Spin dash. Now that I think about it, we've actually been playing in Act Knuckles, now that I think about it. I mean, to be fair, Trip did make an appearance. I think she made an appearance in that act, at least after you cleared Act Knuckles. It's still pretty cool, since just about every character act is mandatory. It started with Sonic's act with his chase with Knack the Weasel, then it was with Amy's side quest in the Lagoon World, and now Knuckles, and eventually Tails, of course. Well, that's remarkable. Just to give you an idea of what these look like, in case you didn't play them, and good gosh, will the game let me get out of this nightmare that is a bumper? Stay tuned. The answer was yes. It only took doing things the unintended way as usual. Wouldn't you know? Work smarter, not harder, ladies and gentlemen. What did I tell you? What did I tell you indeed? Nice. Sec, I thought it made a stunning move there. And so did I as sending. For a sec, I thought there was another one on top of it, but I guess I was wrong. Kind of. Alright. I envisioned one would collide with it, and then would immediately lead to my death to suffocation for the 100th millionth time, as usual. Anyway, so just going backward here. Obviously, we're meant to go up, unless that happens. It only took us, after just making contact once with collision, everything just falls apart. Excellent. Anyways, the patient game. Thank you. 10 years later. Nice. And by the looks of things, we're going up now. If we can go up. And the answer was, for once, yes. And it only took us one try, we didn't fall down. That's a record. Anyways, back to collision. One might even say this is collision chaos. Hope you get the reference. B. Anyways, the checkpoint. We're definitely not going to need that. No, but not to worry. And onwards we go. It's pretty satisfying. Unless you suffocate 10 seconds later, of course. And hey, wouldn't you know, another checkpoint. Timing couldn't be better. Only I had to sacrifice momentum, but it's fine. It's definitely worth it in case something inconvenient happens, and hey, Avatar was the most popular move and they just had to make it 3 times. All in the same level. How lovely. Anyways, Fireball. This also works. What am I doing? Thank you. Anyways, up we go. It's holding the wrong way. This way. And now we're going up. Right into Badnik. Thanks, game. Was definitely 100% intentional, and anyways, by the looks of things, we're gonna have to go up. And hey, that was okay. I was about to say I was completely accidental, and immediately the game just made me drop myself from there. See, what did I tell you? Even goes back to my previous comment, saying that even the game wants my head. May I please go up? The answer is no, as usual. But the second time, the answer was yes. And then the third time was no again. Good gosh. I just want to question the collision right about now. I could assure you I was holding down the button to climb and then nothing happened. I'm not supposed to be here. Good gosh, please get me out of this loop. Gonna do the unthinkable and go left, since apparently that's the way I'm intended to go. Unless something inconvenient happens and then makes me start from square one again, as usual. Doesn't seem to be anything over here. Guess we're going this way. And hey, wouldn't you know, another special stage. We're gonna avoid that for now. I think we completed enough of those for one day. And we just looped back again, didn't we? Good gosh. What? When will I get my break from this? Oh my goodness. Golden Capital in a nutshell, looping 50% of the time, anyways. Usually due to technicality, at times. Don't worry, the minute something related to collision doesn't happen, we'll be good to go in no time. And hey, this was the right way to go, and we couldn't even go this way. What did you know? Right as we were conveniently 2 meters away from the goal, we reached the goal. Well, convenience in a nutshell, am I right? Anyways, Act 3, I feel like it took me about 20 minutes or so, even if it only took me 10 minutes. But anyways, actually 14 I think, or 12, one of those two. Anyways, Act 3. The intense act, to put it like that. What did I tell you? Convenience. Okay, let's try that again, only this time from the beginning and not from a checkpoint. Here we go again. Taking damage as usual, nothing new. That's new though. Anyways. May I please go up? Thank you. And as usual, I go from about 20 rings or so to only 1 ring, and then 4. Well, they surely don't call it Golden Capital for nothing, alright? Anyways. This way. Oh, NA shield, thank you. I'll take that gladly. I'm definitely gonna need an additional hitbox. In case something inconvenient happens. Like that. Even if I did jump and I immediately got hit by a laser later. As usual. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you again. Good. The generosity here is just very appreciated. Anyways. What did I tell you? Anyways, moving this way. Another loop. I got 2 loops. And back to spinballing. Thank you. I apologize for the lack of commentary. I'm just trying to for once focus to provide you with quality content for at least 20 minutes or so. Please bear with me. Anyways. Ooh, boss already? Question mark? Oh, one way to find out. We're clearly approaching the contraption, alright, and we'll get to that later, don't you worry. Just when you thought I was done explaining things. Nice. I need the medal. Thank you, I want my money back. Good memories. 1 second you have 50 rings, and then the next you have none, and then the next you have 50 rings again. Any day now, oh boy, oh boy. And I was right, we already made it to the boss, huh? What did you know? There it is, there's the music, alright. And hey, what did you know? It's our good old buddy old pal Knack the Weastless. He's finally gonna settle his bone wit trip. And fun fact, this is actually the time when Trip actually decided decided to actually betray Knack and actually join with Sonic and friends to actually save the island from the clutches of Robotnik and his Badnik army, of course. Pretty straightforward pattern. Just try to sneak hits when you can, and as usual, avoid his attacks. Since he's pretty dang vulnerable, a lot more than he seems to. And in doing so, it's also revealed to us that he's clearly been building something over here, as he's basically turned Golden Capital into a base of his own. Wouldn't you know, he's becoming slowly but surely he's becoming the Mad Doctor himself. Good gosh. Just like that. Using Capital's resources to basically make modifications to his main means of transportation, aka the Marvelous Queen, as the game calls it. And I can't believe I just said that. I always thought it was a weird name, in my personal opinion. But anyways, apparently how lore is structured altogether. And yep, he's making upgrades, alright, trying to make it all the more deadlier. Truly proven to be a formidable foe at that. Anyways. And funny enough, Knack was supposedly already technically beaten in Golden Capital by Sonic. And history is going to repeat itself, only this time it's not a hedgehog, it's a lizard who's going to kick his butt. Anyways. And he was clearly building something too in the background, we definitely saw that. Anyways. That's 2 hits. But since we're not Sonic, it takes around 3 or 4 hits, I would say. I think 3 though. And just like that, weird hitboxes strike back yet again. Back to his laboratory at headquarters, to put it like that. Nice. He's clearly been harvesting and harnessing the lava, alright? Just about every essential detail you need to produce mechanism. Or metallic contraptions, in other words. Oh boy. How history repeats itself. Going this way. And hey, didn't get hit for once, thank you. Flawless. And yeah, he's building something, alright, there it is. A mech which we may or may not see later. Spoilers. Oh boy. Don't worry about the missiles, they're not that threatening, actually. It's more about avoiding what comes from above. Since, as you all know, physics are a thing in video games, as usual. And I have no ratings. And yep, you already know what's gonna happen, do you? Avatar, that's what. Thank you. Work smarter, not harder, ladies and gentlemen. There's, you know, the good old saying. Boy, do missiles ever get old. Anyways. And of course, I wasn't able to hit him. I was too impatient as always, and because of that, we're doing that from square one. Good gosh, curse my impatience. Why? My suffering has yet to conclude. Not today, thank you. Oh my goodness. Nope. And you have to hit him one more time since it takes 3 hits again. Oh. And one more for the road, ladies and gentlemen. One more for the road indeed. Oh boy. We go again. First upgrade, lasers. And then rockets, of course. Well, one could say his name was at one point, was supposedly at one point Jet the Jerboa, but up for debate. Anyways. And just that we approach... we've nearly approached 2 hours. Will I be able to beat this on the 3 hours? Will I be able to do what I wasn't able to do with Sonic? Well, stay tuned to find out. Here we go again. And of course, weird hitboxes strike back, as usual. And here we go again. Oh, goody. Oh, thank you. Of course, right as I'm about to hit him, a turret appears. 2 turrets appear, actually. Correction. At least I got my ring back. Thank you. And I believe that's phase 2. On to phase 3 now. Good gosh. Here we go again. Caught in the middle of machines building machines. Beautiful, as usual. Oh. And this way we go. Assuming you don't get hit by just about every obstacle in existence. And we're out of here. In one piece. That's a first. Anyways. You know what time it is? It's that time of the day again. Oh boy, where I use Avatar. Assuming I don't lose all my rings within the first 10 seconds of the fight, as usual. Nope. Work smarter, not harder. Not dying today, no thank you. And I'm just gonna sit back and let the clones do all the work for me. This is Star Wars now, as if this couldn't get any more vibes, not only with the factory, but with clones. Attack of the Clones, ladies and gentlemen. Attack of the Clones, indeed. It applies to Superstars, too. Anyways. Thank you. Your timing couldn't be better. Anyways. And just like that, that's why you always want to keep another ring in your pocket, ladies and gentlemen. That way you could do that, which I wasn't able to do last time, since I conveniently lost it. And just like that, Triv has just about gotten her revenge on that for basically treating her like dirt, and just like that, more Flickies have been freed. And she trips. It's in her name. Next zone, shall we? Oh boy, oh boy. Only this time we didn't destroy his mech, and oh, is that gonna be controversial? Well, or should I say, is that ever gonna make a return? Anyways. Going up, Cyber Station. I believe this is the final zone. The final zone of the game, which only features one act. But while it may be a long one, it is a pretty good one though. It's chock full of references and good cross the visuals look beautiful. See, first of all, you don't know, I'm actually a fan of pixelated visuals. They look absolutely beautiful. Just like that, see what did I tell you? Now this feels a lot more like classic Sonic. Even if we're playing this on PlayStation and not on a Genesis. Anyways. Nice, 100% potential, and we almost missed a monitor, and the game tried to hide it from us. Not today. And you almost have 50 rings, you know what that means. We're so saving that for the boss. Since it's not worth using in the main stage. I'd say that these stages were a lot more designed with Trip herself in mind, not her actual super form though. Just why I'm not using her super form. There's that word again. Anyways. On to references. First one being, or if that's what this is meant to be. I always thought this was cool they implemented features like this, and boy, the visuals look beautiful. They really went all out with the creativity with Cyber Station Zone. I love it. This is just a theory. I'm not sure if this is meant to be a reference or not, but I believe this may be a direct callback to another Genesis game known as Echo the Dolphin, where you would basically play as a dolphin. The reason I say that is because not only just does it have underwater physics, but also because it controls a lot like it too, with the whole dash headbong and the physics too. Now, since you can also swim fast, just like that. Only this time, okay, I was about to say, only this time they applied Mario physics and made us a blooper in which we could swim in the air. That definitely doesn't defy the laws of physics or anything like that. No, don't worry. Anyways, go again. Will I die? Really, I'm just speedrunning this as a whole. Nice. Ooh, double nice. One ring. Yes, thank you. And back to Sonic physics we go. Nice. Taking the shortcuts as usual. Going this way. We did the unthinkable and we went left again. Whoopie-doo. Whoopie-doo indeed. Anyways. And we barely missed a token. Good gosh, darn it, that's gonna cause a reset. Anyways. And another token, as if we couldn't get enough of those. And enough of taking damage, of course. This way. The game suggested we use an emerald power, but that wasn't necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you worry. And hey, another reference. I believe this is that's what this is meant to be. And we went the wrong way. Excellent. Fantastic. So basically, we had called back to cat and mouse games. I forgot the names though, but still, it's pretty dang cool to see Sega referencing other previous games that may or may not have been of their own working. Still, arcades. It's called Cyber Station for a reason or two. Anyways, avoid the cats. And hey, what did you know? First try, ladies and gentlemen. Quality content. This is what you subscribe for. Quality content indeed. Anyways, what abomination awaits within? Should I use Avatar? I'm using Avatar. Thank you. I'm taking my bonuses. Thank you very much. And onwards we go. The one time I used, well actually the fourth time I used Avatar outside a boss in an actual level. And hey, 85 rings. Not a bad collection of rings, ladies and gentlemen. We're approaching 100 rings. Now all I have to do is... Okay, I was about to say, now all I have to do is not take damage, and of course I jinx it every time. It's about time we got a checkpoint. And I believe we should be approaching the final reference right about now. And there... Actually, never mind. It's a lie. We're back to Echo, apparently. Or at least I... Excellent. Thank you. The hunters supported that way. And we conveniently are animals. What we do. Anyways. The Sonic. Or should I say trip. Checkpoint. And hey, there it is. The final reference. The rocket. Recall which... I keep forgetting which reference this is, and just like that, as if this were Geometry Dash, the first thing I do is to run into a wall. Excellent. Sure is a good thing we have infinite lives. Oh boy, here we go again. Will I survive? Just be sure not to run into walls. The bricks are fine, just not the walls. first try, definitely. Or second try, I should say. Anyways, it's that time of the day again. Yep. Good old boss against the Egg Robo. And there he is. He's happy, alright. And this time, hey, what did you know? It's that one robot we encountered way back in the Third World. AKA Sky Temple, I believe. That's what it was called. Anyways, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Super form. Work smarter, not hard, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways. Well, this was a pretty dang cool boss and all. I will admit I am going to miss Metal Sonic. I'm almost gonna confess, I'm actually kind of disappointed he didn't make an appearance this time, since I was expecting him to, outside the battle mode at least, but still. His role was stolen by someone else. Good gosh, why? Perhaps one of my favorite antagonists in the Sonic franchise. Anyways, yet again standing in his own way. Takes more hits to kill this time around. Any day now. Please and thank you. I believe he's only one hit away from death. Figured I'd assume Dragon Form just to make this a lot faster, since we're trying to speedrun this, so... Go again. I'll take my bonus, please and thank you. Rigged. And of course that wasn't the end. Phase 2. And yep, there it is. He conveniently made one to fit suit his size. Goody, giant robots. Does this ever get old? Not to mention the Metal Sonic fight in Sonic Mania, also one with a similar approach. Just be sure not to rush this part. The part where he takes part in the background, I recommend don't rush. If he ends up shooting a block you're about to stand on, and if it turns to a badnik, then you're done. So it's best to play it safe. Sure, it's a good thing we have Avatar, though. And then you get hit 10 seconds later, as usual. Also, do note that every time you hit Egg Robo, he's always gonna change perspective or dimension, however you want to call it. If you hit him while he's facing, while he's in the second dimension, he's gonna go into the third dimension. If you hit him in the third dimension, he's gonna come back to the second dimension. So you can only hit him once per every cycle. Keep that in mind. It's a very useful tip. But since obviously we're tripping, we have a double jump, that's nothing to worry about. We absolutely demolished this boss fight. First try indeed. Unlike the previous one. Will I get my bonus this time? Stay tuned to find out. And hey, this time it wasn't rigged. Twice in a row this time. Round of applause. Act 1, and that is the final world that only features one act. On to the next one. Oh boy, what abomination awaits within. Frozen Base Zone, ladies and gentlemen. Frozen Base Zone indeed. Oh boy. Getting serious flashbacks to Robotnik Winter from Triple Trouble, since I played that game a few weeks back. I should have changed the direction of the conveyor belt, but it's fine, and for a second I thought I was gonna die. I take back what I said, I'm glad I didn't. If I would have changed it, I probably would have gotten killed by the conveyor belt. Fall into the inevitable abyss. Climbing. And here we go again. Taking hits, as to usual. Sonic levels, always typically cleared in style as usual, ladies and gentlemen. Nice and easy. Or nicely done, I should say, I'm sorry. Anyway, spikes that collision, so that clearly wasn't an option. To go back now. Should have used spring, but it's fine. 100% done the unintended way. And I want you to know a secret. And there's nothing in here. And that helps. Speed. And on we go. Oh boy, here we go again. Nice. As tempting as it is to change the direction of the conveyor belts, I won't. Probably for the better. You never know whether or not something like last time could happen again or not. Anyways. I take back what I said, I changed the conveyor belt. And in doing so, I also missed a giant ring. Which also saved me some time. And I forgot to change conveyor belt direction, excellent. Good thing. Jumping is always an option, ladies and gentlemen. You know what, okay, we'll use... Okay! Yeah, game wants us to tempts us to use Avatar and immediately tells us to just stop it. Just when I thought I could exhaust our emerald and... Just when I thought I could really exhaust our emerald energy, that way we wouldn't cheese the boss. Game really is that desperate to get her head, isn't it? Anyways. Not today. I didn't even kill him, since I was feeling merciful. Pacifist, ladies and gentlemen, why kill when you can spare? Anyways, the game said I should use Avatar, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Only when the game doesn't want me to use it, of course, and which is clearly for the better. Anyways. And as we speak... Okay, and as we speak I die, and... I forgot to point out the background as well. I was about to do so, and then I instantly got killed, as usual. Good gosh, for a second I thought I was gonna die twice in the same spot. Anyways, go again. Let's try that again. As I was saying, as we speak, the egg fortress is also about to take off. As you can see in the background, for those of you who don't know, it's basically Robotnik's new headquarters, or HQ for that matter. And yep, it's also desperately trying to kill us, alright? Firing missiles and of another animal buddy. Onto the boss fight it is. Good gosh, as if orbital stations never got old in Sonic games. It first started with the Death Egg and then Atomic Destroyer, and now it's the Egg Fortress. I'll say it looks pretty dang cool. Anyways. Unfortunately can't use super form since we don't have enough rings. We lost slightly too many rings. We also can't change the direction in which the conveyor belts will turn in. Nice. Pretty straightforward boss. Just a lot more. The only difference is you have to be a lot more patient since he takes a lot more hits to destroy. Of course. Since we're not playing as Sonic. Keep in mind this only applies to Trip's story, not if you're playing as Trip in story mode, I think, at least. For the most part in story mode, all the levels are the exact same layout. And just like that commentary yet again proves to be a worthy opponent, a worthy formidable foe of mine, and gets me killed by distraction. Anyways. No talk out of the way. Okay, make that 2 times now. I could really use the jump button right about now, if it reads an input. Thank you. Well, again. Ooh, good gosh. And this time I don't have rings, yep. Well, I guess that's this attempt then. When the boss gets in range, I personally recommend going underneath and just using the platforms on top of you as a shield. It's gonna help you a lot. Trust me. Especially when it comes to dodging stuff. But when the boss gets in range to be hit, immediately get back to the platforms above you. That way you can get a clean hit on him. Unless that happens, of course, and the game just reads your next move, as usual, and takes your head. It's that easy. Anyways, the strategy explanations out of the way, back to fighting the boss. Oh, thanks, game. Of course, that happens. And back to the back. Yep. So what happens when you're too slow? Just in case you didn't believe me, there's your evidence and your proof. But now you have a good reason to believe me now. Thank you. Thanks, game. Thank you, game. That's I think the 4th time I died to this boss. Good gosh. A break would be well appreciated. Please. Oh, here we go again. Thank you. Oh my goodness, here we go again. It only takes you to take damage one time, and then that just screws up your entire boss fight. And honestly, it doesn't even matter if you have rings or not. Either way, if you do get hit, then you're just done for at that point. Did not impress that, but I did. Using this for the better, clearly. Thank you. Ooh, close call. Why it's also recommended to frequently use emerald powers. They definitely come in handy. Anyways. And you know what I'm about to do. Back to Avatar it is. And of course, unless that happens. Too slow, as usual. Okay. I have no idea what just happened there, but gee, guess the game really wants me dead that badly, huh? Well, not today. Unfortunately for it. Never mind. And yep, it really does hate me today, doesn't it? What did I tell you? Well, anyways, when the game gets bored of killing me constantly, I'd say it should only take us about 5 minutes or so to actually get to the next act, assuming we can kill the boss at least. Anyways, please do me a huge, gigantic favor here. It's all about timing and precision, as usual. Just like that. Gee, even the game's trying to delete my rings, even if they weren't close to expiring at all. Avatar, please. Thank you. Thank you, Avatar. But now that happens, of course. If that one, I'd say if that one ring had a despawn, I probably would have had a better chance. Yep. Really need to have just better luck with RNG overall, apparently. I know I said my goal was to beat this game under 2 hours, but But personally, I don't think the game actually even wants to let that happen. If that's actually how it's really just gonna go, we're gonna get to 3 hours, and then the game's just gonna be generous enough with me with RNG, and then it's gonna let me through. One can know how convenient. That's typically how goals work, as usual. The major obstacle. Good gosh. Yep, we're approaching the 3-hour mark already. Jeez. Thank you. I'm getting this out just in case. Yeah, but you definitely don't want to be anywhere near that when that happens. That's why I'd personally say that's probably safer to get him to do it when you're in the top row. That way, if you're in the bottom row, there's not as big of a risk of getting hit by that attack. Anyways, I need Fireball. At least I know what he's about to do. That clearly. What did I tell you? And the best part is, now I have to do that all over again from square one. When I just thought the major time loss was just going to come from the emeralds, apparently the game said no, and yep, it's going to come from one major boss. Excellent. But one thing that doesn't want me to make it to the next act. It is an antagonist after all, so there you have it. More plot-related reasons, anyways. Just consider using slowdown next time. Thank you. But on the bright side, if you struggle a lot with this boss, or at least when you play as Trip, don't worry, I can say the same. You're not the only one, buddy. Don't worry. Don't you worry. We got you covered. Anyways, thank you. Ooh, thanks, game. Thank you. Let's see. About 30 minutes or so from reaching 3 hours, and the game surely is definitely very excited about that, as it should be, considering how many obstacles it's placing upon us. Anyways. Thank you. And in case you didn't believe me, when you get hit, your drinks disappear instantly in this fight. Funny enough. Sure, I guess you could argue it's because you really don't have an opportunity to pick them up, but still, if one does end up getting pushed ahead of you, if it disappears, it's personally really not the best scenario if it were to disappear, since that essentially leaves you with no HP left whatsoever. As it did previously. Very interesting boss, if I do say so. Anyways. Thank you. Waiting anxiously to use that. And now back to patience. And hey, he's furious. I think we're only 3 hits from killing him now. Hopefully. Anyways, go again. Thank you. Game? Okay. So always that move, and to be fair, I didn't even really practice, and it actually went a lot better when my practice run. Actually, it only took me 2 attempts to kill this guy, funny enough. I guess game design was feeling a lot more generous back then, but conveniently I go live and then, yep, stuff like this happens, as usual. Unsurprisingly. Oh my goodness. Back to 0 rings. That's a good sign. Always. And back to this move again. Thank you. Good gosh. And yep, there it is. Good game design. Anyways. To be fair, the devs really designed this boss with the intention of making it annoying. Well, I'd say I'd give them a round of applause for that, since they did a bang-up job in doing so. This boss is proven to be quite a formidable foe. Thank you. Well, I do love me a good challenge. I still don't want. I don't want to be here for about 20 years, so I'd really appreciate getting a bit better RNG this time around. And I'd say the answer is still no. Oh my goodness. Thank you. And what did I tell you? Rings disappear instantly, and the moment where I patiently wait to get ahead on the boss, the game doesn't let that happen, as it usually does. You have no idea how happy I would be to have super form available right about now. Help me by a long shot. Anyways. You know what, actually take back what I said about rushing to get a hit on the boss. I'd say it's actually probably a bit better just to measure his speed and only rush when he's in range of getting hit. It's definitely for the better, especially when he uses his ice bomb attack. And yep, that happens as usual. And the minute that he's clear, I can't get a hit on him. Another frame would be very acceptable. Would be glad to acceptable, I should say. Thank you. And hey, he's enraged now. Okay. This is definitely the part where you don't want to go too fast. You'll regret doing so. Trust me. Don't ask how I know. Oh boy. Thank you. Thank you. That felt good. What did I tell you? No, I'd say I probably got the pattern now. It's when he uses his ice bomb attack, don't move too quickly. But when he comes in rage, just rush towards him before his miniature batniks come after you. It's definitely for the better. And then, yep, then there's this attack. Right here. Move slowly, remain at the top, and then immediately afterwards get back to the lower level. it'll save you a lot of time, and you won't be and it won't be as risky as just running endlessly. Anyways, locked on. Not today, thank you. And now we run again. Thank you. You have no idea how good that feels. 20 years later, we finally get a safe passage through Act 1, and thank you very much. I'll gladly take that. Thank you. This is the quality content you subscribe for. Act 1, ladies and gentlemen. Now on to Act 2, since obviously this has a second Act 2 that follows the first one. That being that of Act Tails. And since this is basically the segment where you're meant to play as Tails. But since climbing is always an option, since there are conveniently walls everywhere, there's no need to fly when you can just climb. Heck, I guess this level could maybe even be a fitting for the likes of Knuckles, maybe. Who knows? Anyways, definitely was for Trip though, obviously. And of course he said, okay. No thank you. And yep, Collision gets me killed as usual. Well, might as well avenge the fallen life there. Anyway, okay, never mind. I guess the double jump just refuses to work. Yeah, that's also an option, thank you. One moment you're humiliating Eggrob one, the other you're just humiliating yourself due to technical difficulties, of course. That's how convenience works, I guess. And a secret, thank you. I needed that. Free medal, anyways. Let's not die, shall we? And by that I mean let's just kill every Batnik there is. Thank you. Get out of here. Especially you. Anyways, patience. So you can only shoot forward, and I'm definitely gonna kill him for better. I mean, it's not like he killed us last time or anything like that. Of course, as the platforms approach, that happens. Good game design indeed. Anyways. Go again. And hey. I'm not gonna bother trying to see if it can go down or not. It's probably just an abyss, as usual. Oh boy, what's the move here? Clearly well designed. Anyways, I actually might use Ivy. It might make this a bit easier. I guess when they copied and pasted this stage, they didn't directly knew if it was actually really gonna be fitting for the likes of. Okay, never mind. Maybe they were right. They just made that just to annoy people. But topic is as usual debatable. I'd say this level's or this world has probably proven to be one of the more formidable ones in terms of difficulty spikes. Since one thing is just getting abused with a lot of obstacles and reasonable mechanics, and the other is just either outrageous RNG, for the most part. But hey, I won't complain. As I previously mentioned, I do always like a good challenge. Anyways, to go up, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do if I can, at least. But first, I'm gonna kill Batniks for better. And up we go. Checkpoint. It's basically going back to what I was saying about the specialists and whether or not they were quote unquote fitting for Trip. I'd say I'd say personally one reason as to why most of videos like this act in particular wouldn't really feel a bit more honest, probably because they just copied and pasted it directly without really doing much else to it. Since, for those who recall, this is exactly how it also played out for Tails, and since he could fly, it was fitting for him, since it was designed with him in mind. But when you put Trip in there, while she can climb, I mean, to be fair, most levels still is pretty dang open. Which brings me to state that I take back what I said about climbing and flying back a few minutes earlier. Pros and cons everywhere. Anyways, nice. Pretty funny how the conveyor belts don't have collision from below, but the platforms do have collision everywhere. Oh boy, these badniks. Anyways, up we go. Endgames makes us use this again, which we really only use for bosses. Now that I think about it, I'd say the only really good time to actually use the Emerald Powers are in boss fights, at least except for Ivy and maybe the one that lets you reveal hidden objects. I forget what it was called. But still, you get the point, since you really don't have a whole lot reason when you're just basically platforming and just overall enjoying what it feels to just obliterate enemies and complete levels within supersonic speed. Anyways, you have to go this way. Thank you. Endgame says, and Suffocation, as always, says no. Since our timing always couldn't be any better. Anyways. Oh, thanks, Suffocation. That's at least the 10th time it's happened, or at least probably the 20th time it's happened this stream. Anyways, precision. Go again. We're so close to the final world. You do not know by how much we are. Didn't even know there was a roof there, huh? Curious. Anyways, where we died last time. You all have good memories there. Good memories indeed. Anyways. Oh boy, oh boy. Nice. Thank you. And I apparently die after I kill a Bionic, since he conveniently... I think I actually went too far upwards. Anyways. You know what, I think I've actually technically given enough evidence, and I'm probably gonna straight up confess. I honestly really think that this world as a whole wasn't really properly designed. Sure, it's challenging and all, and it's good to see challenges, but I don't think they did it in the right way, at least. I'd say it's probably mostly just because they put Tails' the act of someone who has a unique ability that not a lot of characters get, or that actually can match together with their own respective abilities. But that's basically about it. I've definitely seen better. I mean, slapping Triplet in Act Knuckles back in Golden Capital, it was pretty funny, since at least Knuckles and Trip control pretty similarly with their whole gimmick of climbing things, which was pretty reasonable. But then when you put Trip in Tails' act, it's like if you were to put Knuckles in a level designed for Tails, in which there were absolutely no platforms and you just have to fly in a very open atmosphere. Then you would obviously be screwed by then. But anyways, with that saying, with our greatest challenge overcome in the run, that being the Ice World, I'd say we pretty much good to go for the epilogue. First, make our way through this section, and hey, while I was talking about how the Frozen World could actually use a bit of work, I completely forgot to point out that hey, more references to other previous Sega games. Don't remember which this one was. Was it Opa? I'm not sure what the name was called. I think it was something like that. But still, hey, and speaking of shooters, this time we're using the very first the very first mechanism or means of transportation that Robotnik used in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's the vehicle we're riding, too. Only this time we're not shooting fireballs, we're shooting lasers. But still, fan service is very much appreciated. Since obviously, the Eggmobile Tails made Sonic already took off into the Egg Fortress. And takes place moments after yet again she defected from the forces of Robotnik and Knack the Weasel. But still, regardless of that, pretty chill act. It's definitely a much needed break from the nightmare that was the previous world. World 10 to be exact, or Zone 10. Anyways. This boss again. The secret for this boss is basically keep your distance. It's tempting to go close to him, but you're a lot less likely to get hit if you're farther away from him, and believe it or not, you're actually a lot more likely to hit him the further you are, since the lasers his own lasers won't get in your way. So it's just advice. Should almost be dead. Just yet again, a matter of patience, our good old buddy, old pal. Any day now. Oh boy. Thank you. What did I tell you? Perfectly planned out. I'll gladly take my money back, please and thank you. And just like that, contraption versus contraption of Robotnik. Only this time we're using one he hasn't used in a very long time. It's good to see these references making a comeback. Fan service, very much appreciated. Anyways, just about everything I said applies to this phase as well. Just pretty much stay back and then just hope the lasers you fire. Just hold on the fire button and then just focus on just avoiding the enemy turrets. And that's all you need to know, and you should be good to go if you do so. Just like that. He's almost dead. It's a lot safer if you try to snipe him from far away. Trust me. It may not seem like it, but at least you're a lot more likely than just to hug him, straight up. Anyways. Thank you. Nice. And that is the boss, ladies and gentlemen. We're all good to go for the finals on NA. We're conveniently approaching the 3-hour mark. The game's goal was to basically prevent us from beating this game under 3 hours, and I have to admit defeat for once. Well, I have to admit defeat yet again, all because of RNG and because of level design that could definitely use a lot of work. Well, at least that applies to World 10, at least, the Ice World. I keep forgetting the name. But just like that, we bust our way into Egg Fortress Zone, and we've successfully infiltrated Robotnik's third orbital station now, or orbital space station now. How remarkable. It all began with a Death Egg, and eventually we just went from there. And now it's Egg Fortress. Only this time, it's clear, the station clearly malfunctioned at some point, or it was probably sabotaged, and now it's completely falling apart. Designed with quality, ladies and gentlemen, yes indeed. It's clearly, as we progress through the level, it's clearly shown to us that it's definitely falling apart. Yep. Rest in peace, Egg Fortress, I should say. And good God, I've officially lost my ability to talk. Really couldn't just take what happened back in the previous world. Good gosh. I'm sorry. Anyways, onwards. Nice and easy, as usual. Climbing. Go again. Thank you. But I'll say, Egg Fortress is definitely one. If if I have any favorite zones in this game, I'd say Egg Fortress is probably one of my favorite ones, just because how creative it is. Sure, it may not feel slow at times, but at least it works well. I mean, examples would be low gravity sections in which you could all just make contact with walls to basically boost yourself onwards to basically gain more momentum and thus speed. It helps a lot, definitely. Anyways, we're out of here. Thank you, Badnik. I needed that. And down we go. Oh, not today's suffocation. Just when you thought I was gonna die there again. For those of you who watched my previous live stream. Anyways. Checkpoint. I was meant to spin dash. I have no idea what that was, but onwards we go. Or not. So I'll destroy the nukes themselves. Nice. And I especially gotta love the references to the previous Sonic games. The enemies those enemies, right, they're actually ones directly pulled from Sonic CD, fun fact. Don't remember from which zone it was, though. I believe it was Palm Tree Panic, I think. Still, pretty cool seeing fan service. Anyways, back to destroying contraptions, as usual. 3 times. Done and done. Only this time we're doing the unthinkable and going left. Nice. Anyways, one of these sections. For these sections, as tempting as it is to go fast, do not do so. Trust me. If you accidentally end up beating the platform generators to the other side, and if you run out of platforms, then you're done for not being patient. Trust me. Don't ask how I know. Oh boy. These sections I personally recommend climbing. It's a lot safer than just staying on ground. You could obviously tell why it is. You're a lot less likely to get hit, and it's actually a pretty viable strategy, if you ask me. Anyways, checkpoint, and down we go. Nice. Spikes. And Knockbat says no, of course. And I have no rings at all. And I immediately thought I shouldn't have let go. Darn it. I'm still waiting for the day where I beat a zone without dying. Good gosh. Well, with the exception being the early game, of course. Thank you. Where I died last time. Very comforting indeed. Anyways, thank you very much. And avoid suffocation. As tempting as it is to go fast in this act, it is not the act to do so. If you want that experience, then Act 2 is your go-to act. Anyways, physics. Go again. Nice. All perfectly planned out. Don't you worry. Ooh, barely avoided that. And I instantly get killed for not reacting fast enough. Excellent. I've definitely proven the campaign has had the best level design there is out there. Thank you very much. Go again. Need a surface. Thank you very much. Please bear with me. I understand your suffering. We're almost there. Don't worry. It sure is a good thing I made a practice run. I could not imagine how this would have gone if I just decided to play this game immediately after beating the main story. And that's what happens when you go fast. I've proven my point again, in case you didn't believe me. Oh boy. Go again. Nice. I have no idea what Collision had in mind there, but they've clearly proven that the collision in this game could definitely use a lot of work, though. I mean, at times. It usually tends to malfunction when there are too many things on screen, which is pretty standard. nothing out of the ordinary there. Anyways, let's go the other way, or the wrong way. Oh boy. Final segment, we're almost there, don't worry. And yep, the space station is clearly falling apart. Rest in peace, Robotnik. And hey, hidden monitor, what did you know? Ooh, make that 2 for that matter. I'm gonna save it. I hope I don't regret that decision. Act 1. We've just about reached the 3-hour mark, and just like that, final act of the game. Oh boy. As in a last-ditch effort to defeat us, basically Robotnik and, well, the egg robot 2 activated the reversal basically activated an experiment which basically reversed everything that just about happened to the Egg Fortress as a means of clearly trying to kill us, and of course he's out of here. He does not want anything to do with this, and I regret not touching the monitor. It despawned. Darn it. Since I thought it was still gonna remain loaded even when the act would change. But to be fair, since the game was loading for a second, had to load a million new things and a million new codes, it was pretty understandable so why it wasn't meant to be like that. But I guess Robotnik clearly ran out of time, thus this fortress was definitely just about a few hits away from just self-destructing, and in a last-ditch effort to stop us, basically reversed everything that just happened in Act 1. And as a result, we also have to make our way back to the beginning of the level to beat it. And hey, it's that one drawing Robotnik crew. Well, you think what I'm thinking? Yep, it's definitely calling us to do this. For this part, you're meant to use your super form. If you don't use it, there's no way. Well, you can't get through that part without the super form. But let's just say it won't be as quick or as quick as when you do use the super form. Now you know why there was graffiti on the wall. It was giving you a hint as to what to do. I guess the devs figured they had probably made it a bit too hard to the point of where you couldn't gather enough rings to see your super form in action. So I guess as a result, they just force you to use it in this zone. So I will say it's somewhat fitting, and yet again a much needed break from the last one. Yep. Dark Ages, alright. Dark Ages indeed. But because we're in our super form, this also means we're invincible. So there's that too. Lovely. And you go again. It's only a matter of time before we revert back to normal. Good gosh, we better make the most out of this. And since we're not the troop we know, we basically have to just sit back and watch this animation as the ball rolls. I will say, it is pretty satisfying. You never really get a good look as to what the level layout looks like for the most part, so there's that going for it. Anyways. Any day now, approaching the lower level. Even the clock's going backwards. Again, just about everything was reversed here. Just to give the antagonists more time to kill us, obviously. And by that I mean Egg Robo and Dr. Robotnik, of course. Anyways, up we go. Checkpoint. Nice. Missed one ring, don't worry, we won't need it. Definitely. Just in case, and would you look at that, the Egg Robo didn't even get a chance to do anything at all. Well, I guess we won't be seeing him again. Anyways. Going left. We're doing the unthinkable in a video game. We're beating a level in reverse. Rather than making it to the end, we have to make it all the way back to the entrance of back to the entrance of the fortress now. And yep, just like that. Everything that just collapses reverting back to normal. However, this does mean that at some point, the damage that was just inflicted to the death thing and that was just repaired is going to take place at some point or another. It is only a temporary solution. Oh boy. Patience. Patience indeed. Ooh, thank you. And we're out of here. Thank you very much. And over to go. I could use some rings. Oh, what did you know? How convenient. Just what I needed. Nice. Oh boy, another part's coming up. Be sure not to jump. Do not go fast in this room. Don't go fast. If I would have jumped right there while going at immense speed, I would have suffocated. It's just a tip. You definitely don't want to know how it feels to just suffocate and instantly just lose all your rings. Especially if you're so close to accessing its super form. Anyways. Same thing, the same tip I previously gave for these segments also apply to this one. Assuming you're paying attention to what you're doing. One could say I'm technically multitasking, and oh gosh, I knew that was gonna happen. I was about to say I think I just screwed up my traction out of commentating, and I was right. And now I gotta do all that again. Starting from the top again. Okay, lower levels. Here we go again. Hitboxes, am I right? You just can't get a break of those. Thankfully, the segment isn't as long, as all the other ones. And I think I just made the same mistake again, didn't I? Good gosh, no. Sure is a good thing we have a double jump. You'd have no idea how much in handy that comes in. Anyways. Yep, the Death X basically gone now. And oh boy, the true menace reveals itself. And hey, wouldn't you know, Knack's back. It's about time he settles the score with us, and yep, just like that, back to falling to an inevitable doom, and wouldn't you know, even the arena changed. And there he is, in all his glory, Knack the Weasel, or Fang the Hunter, what the game calls him. Anyways, you know what time it is, boss fight time, and boy, is there a lot to go over this boss. The one boss that everyone constantly complains about, but when you actually take a look at it, this actually isn't so bad when you get to know his pattern at least. Since, to basically defend the arguments of many people, I'd say around 80%, I'd say around 80 or 75% of this boss's attacks are instant kill, even if you have rings, trust me. This is why I'm going to go over a few strategies as to how you can counter these issues, and you have to learn his pattern. He's going to start out by basically using the lasers, which are instant kill by the way, and then he's going to do this attack where you have to sink a hit on him as he tries to charge towards you. If you pay close attention, his pattern is pretty easy to learn. And don't worry about the missiles; they are nothing. You could just avoid them by standing still. When he uses that move, the one he's about to use now, I recommend spin dashing on top of the hill and then just... Okay, that failed. And then just charging towards him. If you do this correctly, I'd say if you were to do this correctly, you could actually get underneath him and then hit him from behind, since he can't hit you from behind if he's using the attack he just used. He just unleashed. Anyways. Gonna use his next attack where he comes charging down at you. And when he does use... Oh, never mind. I think we made him furious now. Out of the car. And I used the wrong move, of course. Just make sure you not to make any contact with the lasers. They're instant kill. So beware. That's why patience is a thing in video games. Not today, Knack. No thank you. I know I'd say just about every one of you watching is probably going to disagree with me, but I'd say because of how difficult some people consider this boss to be, I'd say that's probably why he's, in my opinion, the best boss in this game. I mean, he definitely puts up a better fight than Robotnik, that's for sure. You can clearly tell, don't touch the lasers, whatever you do, keep that in mind. Instant kill, and I have no idea what just happened to Collision there. Normally when the real Knack comes charging down at you, he actually breaks the ground, but for whatever reason he didn't. Guess Collision was feeling funny. And I should also probably explain, it may seem like there's an illusion in which you actually just may be running around a flat arena. Well, you're actually not running 360 degrees around something. You're actually just looping. It's kind of like that one segment in that one cockpit level where you constantly descend in an elevator, and the game instead just loops background. That's what happens here. The game actually just loads back the assets you just came across, and then just puts them in front of you, which is why the terrain looks so similar to how it does in the background. The only thing is, as you traverse the terrain, the background also unloads and reloads at the same time, so it gives off an illusion that it's a 360 degree turn. And just that's the move I was telling you about. However, while this was a clever trick to give off the illusion that you're going 360 degrees around by unloading and loading backgrounds and certain solids, this actually does cause a bit of bugs throughout the fight, to put it like that. Since for one, we just killed him. Since at times it could really just come into contact with collision if you're about to hit him neck to say, and say you basically go a reasonable distance, then that attack might actually unload him, and he might not take any damage at all. But anyways, Knack Phase 2. Phase 1 was nothing compared to this. And just that, remember that one prototype trick destroyed back in Sonic's campaign? Well, it's back, and Knack was able to reconstruct it back in his factory and you guessed it, Golden Capital, since that's where it was basically manufactured, to put it like that. And now this is the phase where everyone struggles in. When he uses the webs, stay still. Or at least when you get caught in between the webs, hold still and then jump out of them. Trust me, it's better than running that way. You don't accidentally run into one. If the web, however, is on top of you, then run, and then actually that's a lie. Don't run. Jump, and then start running again. That way, you just avoid getting caught and getting hit. Since if you get caught in these webs, and if Knack shoots you, if actually Knack gets a hit on you with those bullets, it's instant kill and you're dead. It doesn't matter if you have rings or not. You die. There's even an animation that accompanies this too. And just like that, what did I tell you? When he unleashes these batniks, you're actually meant to hit them back towards him when they first appear, but since the background illusion I explained earlier gets in the way, bugs like that can happen throughout the fight, so it definitely wasn't designed the proper way, to put it like that, to say the least, actually. However, if you are patient enough to learn Knack's patterns, this is a very straightforward fight, and it actually isn't all that difficult once you do get the hang of it. Which is another reason as to why I like it a lot, because it's complex. Just be sure not to die, of course. If you die, then, yeah, back to phase 1 it is for you. It's kind of like the death egg in Sonic 2 in a way, where one death means back to square one for you. Anyways, Batnik attack. Now I just gotta hope the background's feeling generous with me today. And it was, thank you. And now he's angry. You have to hit him 9 times, by the way, to defeat Knack, in phase 2 at least. Just like that. That's the 4th hit, I believe. Anyways, web attack. On top of me, no thank you. In between, stay still and then jump. And then on me, jump and then run. Just like that, straightforward. And don't worry about the lock-ons. It may seem like they're pretty quick and accurate, but I recommend you just walk as they're locking onto you. But when they lock on, just run, and then just start running momentarily. The reason as to why you don't want to go too fast is just so you don't accidentally loop around and then reload the webs that were loaded previously, and just so you don't get caught in between one of them. Trust me, you do not want to know how it feels like. It's definitely gonna make your life a lot easier. For this fight, you're best off if you don't run, unless if you get an opportunity to hit him. For types like these, it is reasonable to run around. That way you could just do that and then snipe a hit on him. But when he attacks you directly, when you can counter, then that is when you shouldn't run. That's when you should actually be patient and stay still. Trust me. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's gonna pay off. Trust me. Anyways, back to this move. Oh, no, 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 no. Yep, that's what happens when you get caught in the web, by the way. It's an instant kill, you break the fourth wall, and then you die. At least I actually was able to prove my point, but that's why you don't want to run fast. That way you believe me, and just like that, back to phase 1 it is for us. I got a bit too carried away, but at least you know it was worth a sacrifice. That way, my suffering actually aids you in trying to beat the game. But phase 1 is pretty straightforward. It's a lot of waiting and a lot of patience. The rockets are nothing. You could just dodge them by staying still. It's a lot... I'd say it almost feels a lot faster than just a running. Anyways, what did I tell you? Just like that. That easy. It's... I'd say 90% of the time where you're bound to hesitate is because of what is inside your head, but trust me, the attacks aren't as threatening as you think. It's all in your head. Don't worry about it. Trust me. Anyways, this move again. For this one, I recommend you double jump before heading, and that way you just have a lot more control of where you want to go mid-air, since it is essential in getting a clean hit on Knack. Trust me, it's gonna pay off. And it'll save you a lot of time to sneak in some extra hits. Don't ask how I know. Especially if you're so desperate to get back to phase 2 and to learn his pattern. It's good advice. Anyways, back to playing the patient game, and he's furious, alright. Rockets. You win by doing nearly nothing. Just like that. Pretty straightforward boss. I like this one. And who knows, maybe you actually might come to like him when you learn his patterns and when you actually get the hang of it. Since that's how video games typically go with difficult bosses. You like the good challenge, and you like the feeling and the satisfaction you get when you're able to just beat a complicated boss with a complex pattern with your eyes closed, and I could easily say the same about this fight in particular too. Just why I like it a lot more than Robotnik's fight, and why Knack is just and why Knack in this game is a good final boss. Just like that, avoid the clones and hit and find the real one. Either way, it's pretty obvious to tell who's the real one and who's fake, and who the doppelgangers are. Anyways, rockets, and I got hit by one accidentally since I jumped too early. Goody. Avatar. And don't worry if you waste your emerald powers in phase 1. When you get to phase 2, you'll get them all back. Your emerald energy will be completely replenished, and you'll be able to use the emerald powers you previously used again. So don't worry about it. Anyways, this move again. Should also point out how if you use slowdown, it directly alters the background just like that, and the fight just remains like that until the very end. But hey, phase 1, phase 2. Any day now. And since we already saw the cutscene, we might as well skip it. Let's fight next completed version of Zone Match, shall we? With all the technical details out of the way. Let's get right back into action, shall we? Just like that. In between, and on you. Do know that while you're trying to also avoid them, again, don't run. It's gonna give you a lot less obstacles, especially if you're trying to avoid his bullets. Trust me. It's good advice. It's better to stay still and to run. In this fight, at least, unless you can again counter his attacks. Just reminding you. Anyways, what's your next move? Batniks? I was right, Batniks indeed. I keep forgetting what they're called. But anyways, oh, he's angry now. I believe that makes 3 hits. Now let's nail a 4th hit on him, shall we? Just like that. For insurance, I guess you could technically also use slowdown on most of the webs if you don't want to get caught in them. Feel free to. Again, that's why the emerald powers are there. And that's why they're replenishable too. Just like that. even if there are no checkpoints. Anyways. This attack again. When he unleashes this one, hit the blue ones. It may seem like I was hitting the red ones, but if you hit the red ones, you take damage. If you hit the blue ones, it'll send them right back at Neck, and it will actually damage him. So, target the blue ones. Avoid the red ones. Hit the blue ones. Trust me. Also worth noting that if you actually take a bit too long to actually avoid the web attack, Neck will actually directly shoot you. So, if you're speedrunning, you could use that to your own advantage to save frames. It's, yet again, good advice if you want to absolutely nail this fight, trust me. There's a reason as to why I didn't upload for a while, and it took a while to get a hang of this fight. Which is why it's very much so worth explaining to you. That way you don't struggle with this at all. But it is a pretty decent one, sure. A lot of patience, sure, but it's a fun one. When you get the hang of it, at least. That's how video games typically go. Anyways. Also know that the more you hit them, the more bullets you'll fire. Keep that in mind. That way you always know to stay on guard. And there's also the headbutt attack. Never stay in the middle. Always, I'd say, go to the side and then double jump to then get a hit on his head. Trust me, it'll save you time. Anyways, web attack. I also like to point out how the bullets are pretty cartoonish too. I forgot what the material they're made of is called, but still, cartoonish. I like that. Anyways, I'd say now's a good time to use slow it down in case you get unlucky with the bomb RNG. There you go. Can nail it. Put your head on it, and just like that, ladies and gentlemen, that is Knack the Weasel, or Fang the Hunter, however you want to call him. Only done in 2 attempts. Good gosh, we spend a lot more on that on the main boss. That was a lot more sorely dependent on RNG, if anything. At least in the beginning, before he actually got the hang of his pattern. But just like that, Knack gets a taste of his old medicine, and fourth wall breaks. Script's courage indeed, and that's how you get that achievement too, for that matter. Nicely done indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Nicely done indeed. As the Egg Fortress collapses and self-destructs, we yet again escaping the escape pod, which is why the story takes place during the main story mode, since the Egg Fortress was still operational. And just like that, this is what you wanted. There you have it. The good ending. So everyone yet again celebrates and gains credit from Sonic 2. How adorable. She's so shy. 10 out of 10, anyways. And that is Trip's story, ladies and gentlemen. All basically, unfortunately, while we weren't able to beat this in 3 hours, in less than 3 hours, we made it out alive. So hooray, I guess. I will say, could use a bit of work, especially with the stages directly just copied and pasted from the main story mode that required you to beat them as different characters. They could use a bit of work, but apart from that, it's a pretty solid adventure. While some bosses like the mini boss in the Ice World could definitely use a bit of fixing when it comes to their RNG, it still is a pretty solid adventure. And if you're looking for an extra challenge, then this is the mode for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is the mode for you indeed. But hey, at least Trick got her own staff roll level, to put it like that, where you basically run around and endlessly looping background, just collecting rings and popping balloons to earn more rings. Fun fact. Pretty cute. Anyways, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This level template as a whole always reminded me of the opening cutscenes for most of the 8-bit games, which included Sonic 1, actually no, that's a lie, Sonic 1 didn't have an opening cutscene. It includes Sonic 2, Sonic Chaos, and Sonic Triple Trouble, mostly. Because of the whole looping background thing, and because you're just running in a straight line non-stop with seemingly no end. Pretty solid. So, yet again, so glad they brought Classic Sonic back in an original adventure. for that matter. Thank you. And as previously mentioned, I may or may not... I won't promise anything, I'll try my best, but I maybe, I might upload the first world in Mario Wonder today, if I have time. So do stay tuned either way. If I don't, expect it to come at around probably, I'd say, Monday or any other day, any other weekday, since I won't be able to upload on Sunday, unfortunately. So just to give you a heads up as to what, for those of you wondering, now that I'm pretty much done with Sonic, when am I gonna come out to Mario? So there you have it. Now you know when. There's no time, I don't know when I'm gonna live stream it exactly, I can't promise anything, but it's definitely not gonna be, I'm definitely not gonna live stream on the 22nd, I can guarantee you that. Anyways, with that out of the way, enjoy this minigame. So I want to take this as a time to yet again thank all my supporters, and to thank all of you who watch and who stuck around for this part. Thank you so much. It truly means a lot. It truly means a lot to me as a content creator, and I do appreciate seeing you guys watch my content. Good class. That's basically what I do. Either way, thanks so much for watching, guys. Again, the support is very much so appreciated, and I'm glad I was able to yet again upload another clip. Or live stream, for that matter. Good gosh, that was such a weird way to put it. As always, stay tuned for more content. Also, stay tuned for more content. Of course, more Wonder I will upload soon. And of course, be sure to comment down below if you want me to play any other requested games, since I actually might consider doing so if you guys wish, and I might even play around with the battle mode with friends, even if you guys want me to later down in the future, of course. But for now, I'd say what you can mostly expect out of me is just Mario Wonder content, and then obviously the true final boss in this game, which we'll get into later. Don't worry, I know what you're thinking. But that's how it's basically gonna play it for now. Thanks so much for your cooperation and understanding. Truly. Anyways. Patience. This minigame, I always recommend you target the balloons, and when possible, just to target the balloons the most often. Since unlike the individual rings, they actually give you a lot more rings than the individual rings actually do. So it's recommended you go for them if you want to get the high score, obviously. Since depending on how many rings you collected, you'll be rewarded with a set amount of medals. So it's pretty sweet if you want to grind for currency, of course. Lore team, yes, thank you. Just what I needed. Run off into the endless to the endless set of the sun. Sunset, I should say. It's conveniently nighttime. Even if the previously animated cutscene took place during the day, funny enough. Today we're back in Bridge Island zone, so there's that going for it. Good gosh, you have no idea how much in handy the Trip Stall Jump came. Personally, even if she's probably only just been in one game, I'd say she's honestly probably taken place with one of my favorite Sonic and earned herself a place in one of my favorite Sonic characters. Most likely because of her personality and because of how she was introduced and her role in the story, which is pretty cool. I do like her. One of my new favorite characters, for that matter. Let me know in the comments below which Sonic characters you like the most. Sure, I'm curious to see your opinion. Anyways, an endless ocean of names. We. Jump too early. And I missed. Excellent. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Nice. And also probably good to mention, going off completely way off topic regarding Sonic with Sonic related content. For those of you who are wondering when am I gonna keep uploading Mario Sparks of Hope content, since I am aware of the DLC release, and I explained this previously, mentioned this, but for those of you who are still raising your hand up, I've temporarily taken a break from the game, and I don't plan on actually coming back to it until December at least, December 2023 at least. Since at the moment I'm mostly just solely focused on Mario Wonder and, well, Sonic Superstars, of course, even if I'm currently finishing up with Superstars, for now at least, or at least regarding the main story mode. So do expect me to come back in and finish what I started a while ago, around in December. And especially since playing Tower of Doom for at least nearly two weeks in a row just made me want to take a break from the game. When the developers make you beat the game at least 10 times or so, it gets repetitive, and yeah, you know how that feels. However, do expect the Rayman DLC to come up first, and so I am looking forward to playing that. And then when I'm done with that, we'll come back to Tower of Doom. Don't worry. As repetitive as that mode gets, don't worry. Tryware and executive producers. Oh boy. As always, all rights reserved, ladies and gentlemen. All rights reserved indeed. In French too. And of course, Sega. I'm gonna miss the Sega scream. You notice that Sega when you would occasionally touch a new Sonic game. Classy. And that is the end, ladies and gentlemen. A happy ending. How lovely. I'll take my 6... Oh, never mind. 7 tokens. Not bad. Not bad indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. That will gladly do. Thanks for watching. Oh boy. A new feature has been unlocked. Last story. Oh. Yep, you know what that means. Since we have officially completed both story mode and trip story 100%, that only leaves the true final boss out of the way, and good gosh, we'll get to lore later, don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. I am still not done with this game, and while I won't directly fight him in this video is long enough already, do expect the next one, the conclusion to come up later. But for now, it's off to Mario Bros. Wonder, as I'm temporarily going to leave the game on a cliffhanger, but do stay tuned, since I may or may not upload the final boss at an unexpected time. I don't know when, since I'm still going to focus solely on making 100% Mario Bros. Wonder content, but stay tuned, since I will play it. I can guarantee you. But with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching. I yet again truly appreciate all your support, and thanks so much for watching. I'm glad I could yet again live stream another Sonic game, since you know how much it means to me to provide all you with entertaining content just to pass the time with, and I do appreciate this moment we were able to spend together. And as always, I thank you all for watching yet again, and I wish you all a fantastic day, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for Mario Wonder. Until next time, indeed. Goodbye.